We've got Cat going up against DeMu here to open the day. And we are going to be featuring Coastal Cliffs, which I don't know about you. Like, I smile every time I see Coastal Cliffs instead of Dry Arabia. I, I think I said it last weekend. I feel kind of done with Dry Arabia to a certain extent. I get that people love it for its competitive integrity, but we have seen almost every single way you can play that map at this stage.
I feel like if you had a tournament that was all water maps, like
Ooh.
somehow Dry Arabia would still be a home map. like it would still wiggle its way in, right? It's just that like I guess ubiquitous to the tournament scene. So I
Yeah.
kind of agree. Like it's nice that players are looking at Crystal Cliffs and seeing its validity. It plays a little bit differently. It's not wildly different in a lot of ways from Arabia, but it's fun. You know, could it classify as a water map if you closed your eyes? If you like
I,
squint enough when you're playing,
yeah.
maybe you can say this is a water map. So we can
If you
maybe
didn't
wake
see
this
the
part.
cliff, right, you could believe it, maybe.
Yeah,
Uh,
just don't look.
yeah.
Right?
Well, that's a bad idea near cliffs, right?
Well, I mean, it depends on the height of the cliff, depends on if you can swim or if you're a penguin or not. You
It's
know,
just a fun dive, guys. So, like,
it's a fun dive.
when you
And
break your
it's
neck,
funny because on Kills the Cliffs, that cliff face is like insanely high compared to like the height of a unit. You see the
yep.
scout running by there, and the horse has got to be like pretty scared of it, you know?
Oh man, it's an interesting map. I like how often we have to remind people that you cannot fish. Those fish are just there for scenery. You can't touch them, as we're about to see, because it's time to kick off a weekend with DeMu versus Cat. We'll be hopping in to Coastal Cliffs to start off this best of 5 elimination series between Team Liquid's Boy and the 3D Clans rep.
How have you been feeling about Delhi Malians recently?
Delhi
This
Malians,
matchup.
I think it's a tough one for Malians. There's some signs of life, right? Because I have noticed a few experimental builds that involve all-in feudals, things like archers and scouts or sofas in the Second Age. I haven't seen enough of it in this matchup to give a determinative outcome. But what I will say is if DeMu plays this like a atypical fast castle build, this is very Delhi favored.
Right. That's kind of what I'm worried about for Demu. If we're looking at it from his perspective here, I think the benefit is that against Cat he might be a bit favored, right? So I think the thought process is like, can he just play kind of standard and then maybe outweigh the difference here? But I don't know. Like, Cat's been playing well recently, and feel like I just feel like there's options here for Delhi. It's a bit awkward with the sacred sites being so even, right? Compared to like Arabia, I feel like this matchup can be even more favored to Delhi, depending on the map script. Like if you get a closer sacred site, right?
Hmm. I think the tough part that I see with Cat, very talented player, has some incredible games. He just needs to know when it's over, right? Like sometimes Cat, it's kind of like that doctor that's still pumping after 30 minutes of no heartbeat, right? Or the alternative extreme where Cat is actually in complete control of the game, but he doesn't end it. And that's a playstyle that we've seen works in 2022. It doesn't work in 2024. I think that's why I probably would have to always label DeMu as the favorite person, the favorite party here, is that he understands those timings really well. Like this is a guy that sweats and bleeds the game day after day after day, a ridiculous number of hours, and he's proven it. What Cat needs to prove to me in this series, to even stand a chance of going anywhere near remotely deep in this tournament, is that if he's in a dominant position, he can end.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to look at the map here, and it's kind of tough to see where Demu is going to go for his second gold.
Yeah.
Like in feudal age, generally you want to grab the pit mine, and I guess in this game maybe he could wall the top and secure the northern pit mine, and then play aggressive from there. Kind of like hover towards the north side, maybe. Yeah, like walling there.
Yeah.
That kind of play could work. Maybe I wouldn't even wall this gap there. You know, just try and do something, and then secure the deer and have your military north side. But I feel like that works.
If he plays all in feudal though, he doesn't need to do that, right? Because then
He could
you
just keep
aggro.
it open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like the logic is you wall because you've got a reason to be scared. And the cool thing about Malians is like there's some ways they can actually beat out the Delhi. Javelins is a bit dicey. I don't know if you can wholly rely on it on its own. The reason is that the attack speed on those archers is kind of ludicrous, even when they're up against a unit that counters them. But I think something that is quite underrated right now of Malians is Sofa. Sofas and Feudal, every time I see them, there's a smile on my face because they instantly have an impact in the fights.
Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, but against Delhi, right? I think you just talked about it, right? Like
Yeah.
the Ghazi trade better, and there's always Ghazi on the map, and Delhi doesn't mind making spears, right? Like Delhi will gladly make some spears. So I don't know.
I wonder if
Oh, he's
maybe.
going for the wall. Yeah,
Yeah, so the
I
wall's
think
coming up.
it kind of makes sense to me because I think what it does is it means that you don't have to be afraid of the rotations from the Ghazi. Because you almost know, you have to know that Ghazi are coming, right? And maybe protecting this northern section just kind of eases your mind from raids.
Yeah, the other thing is like he's walling in this early because there's a chance that Cat could come in eventually, not just the Ghazi, but like a spearman to wall around the gold. So that's why he's actually prioritizing the wall up first because it's cheaper to do this than to try and obviously go for the pit mine, which is very expensive, and then come for the walls when your opponent's going to be there. So I actually like that he's put safety before greed.
Oh.
Oops.
Oh.
Won't be happening a second time. Wasn't able to stand the pass.
Yeah, it's just funny. And now he's going to go around to the north and probably get that, but there's a wolf in the mix. It's always annoying. This isn't that like impactful. It's just annoying. I know from like the perspective of DeMu right now, this is just like, really?
I really wish that wolves were more impactful, right? I don't know, man. I think
Wolves? You want them to kill the Vil?
I want them to be able to do something. You know, I love the idea of like a Sith being able to summon wolves, right?
He's just gonna wall around this. I feel like he could stab with the Vil once and force the scout to leave, but
It's the timing. Remember, Ghazi come up really quickly due to the military efficiency,
Gotta
so I
be
think he wants
scared.
to play it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we got Ghazi on the field. They're gonna be going towards the south because he scouted this wall going up. So good for Cat. Oh, not finishing that wall actually. That's a weakness. Interesting. There's a slight weakness there.
I
Was
wonder
that
if
a
it will even get looked at though anytime soon, right? Because I don't think Cat's approach here is to try and dive the base. Like the thing with Delhi in this matchup is like they suffocate the map, right? Because what Marlians typically don't like to do is come out, and that's why I was talking about that idea of playing a feudal Marlian build. Is you are gonna have to come out, right? Like it's 2 sacred sites. It's a very quick unlock time. In fact, Delhi are so popular on this map because they tend to trigger the sacred site win condition. I'd say on average close to a minute quicker than you would on Dry Arabia.
Yeah, and so we have the barracks coming down. The Donso, of course, much later than you'd like because of all this walling. And the Vil up there is completely exposed. This could be a dead Vil.
Is that the half eight? Oh,
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
Demo didn't pull the right Vil. He left the hurt folk. If Cat's paying attention here, this could be devastating. And the gold on the front is also denied.
So
There was a Vil on it earlier, but I guess he retreated. He has enough gold for now, especially for Donso.
Ghazi's in. I don't think that village is going to get away safely even with wheelbarrow, so it looks like First Blood is going to be drawn there. And the interesting thing here, by the way, is like him not having gold isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because I think the build that could work against the Delhi is Donzo Sofas.
I mean, he does have gold too, right? Like this is kind of the beauty of playing Malians is your pit mines early on in the game, especially when you don't have any way to spend gold. It's really nice. He's got a lot of gold income and really no gold sinks right now, so he's just going to be stacking stuff up for ecotechs, looks like.
I think you have to be quick into the blacksmith techs as well, though, right? This is the thing that Delhi always does to you. They keep you honest, and it looks like Cat did go for the double blacksmith build.
Yeah, and Demu's actually spending the gold on cows, so investing into his economy a little bit here, really early.
So he's going to go fast castle then, because this is a very aggressive timing.
But this gives Delhi the sacred sites. I don't...
Yeah. And not just the sacred sites. Like, the crazy thing that people discovered about this map is if you get any sort of blocker across the mid-map, it's actually more efficient to wall the entire map than wall the 2 sacred sites. Now, luckily for DeMu, there isn't a tree line in the center here that would make it more efficient for Cat. Unfortunately, it's still a map that you could easily wall, right? And if DeMu is fixated on this idea of fast castle, I don't think he's going to have much time to exploit it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my fear here for Demo is it's not even going to be that fast of a castle, right? Like the Malian FC where you do a cow boom is not it's kind of a semi FC, right? It's almost like a 2TC FC. It's so many resources to get this eco rolling. And it's worth it, right? The economy in the end is bonkers, but I guess one of the differences, like on Arabia, I feel like this would be a death sentence, but maybe on this map it's a bit better because there's only 2 sacred sites. I say that.
It's a
There's
mixed
only
bag.
2, right? There's
Yeah.
not a third sacred site that is giving income, right? I mean, obviously
Yeah.
it's easier to hold for the victory potentially, or just to be annoying and have the frontal pressure going from Cat, but the economy behind this for Cat isn't as scary as it might seem on
Yeah,
Arabia, for example.
that's the thing. You're sacrificing gold to get a quicker cap time and an easier to defend win condition, right? Like that's the trade-off. But
Mhm.
I feel like that's a trade-off you lean into quite happily when you're against like this type of eco boomy build, right? Because you need that gold more when you have a big threat that you need to overwhelm. But if you're able to hunker down to a certain extent, then all of a sudden, like being missing 125 gold is worth it in this matchup. When you know a Malian player has to come out, and it looks like he is on the way
Out
out now.
FC.
Yeah, this is a lot of Donzos, and the archers are already in position from Cat.
Yeah, but Javs are coming out too, with already 3 on the field. If he gets up to like, 6 or 7, how does Cat take a fight?
It's a bit wild, actually. Like, he needs to go hard on that on the Jav count. Against normal archers, that kind of works, right? But against Delhi archers, I've watched some heinous things in my time, Winston. Like, things that these archers should not be able to do to javelins. It's kind of incredible how much DPS they have in those fights.
The torches are out. The weak wall segment
Oh, no.
is going to get immediately popped because of that damage bonus against buildings under construction. He's not going to commit to it, though. Afraid of the Donso looping in from the back. The Javelins taking their pot shots. There's still only a few here. Several of them are back at home in the base. DeMu going to have to retreat here.
Yeah, a bit of a miss micro as well. Looks like Donzo or 2 were dragged in there with the javelins, so more deaths means less of a defense, right? And the archer count is looking really healthy, man. I mean, DeMu, he did stockpile a lot of gold, but his bigger issue now seems to be food.
Yeah, he's just spending it all on these Donso, on the Vil. The cattle boom hasn't really kicked in yet. He hasn't filled it out.
No,
All
right.
7 ranches yet. And he was able to decap the one in the south, which is actually massive.
With a Donzo, right? Not with a scout, not with someone fast moving, a slow moving unit, and Cat wasn't on point with that. So that actually severely hurts him here. Like, that's the type of slip up you can't afford here. If you keep that constriction going, DeMu has to come out and take bad fights. Now with a reset like that, we're already halfway through the boom, right? He could commit the whole way now.
Yeah, but for now, DeMu has to play these fights safe. If he commits all in, he might run into trouble because he's still down in the blacksmith upgrades. He's gotten ranged armor. He's starting to queue up the rest. But if we look at Cat's ranged armor, Cat's blacksmith, he's moving along. And for Delhi to be ahead, that's always crazy, right?
For Delhi to be doing this, right? Like, it's not often you see Delhi
Yeah.
committing into Rams before like 15 minutes. In a longer feudal, sure, but I mean, it shows the pressure he's feeling now, right? I think Cat, this is a correct read that he's off path now. He needs to do more than what you typically would with the Delhi, which is just camp the mid map.
Yeah, and taking out these houses, they pop. It's really annoying, actually, especially if you are wood starved. Getting your houses killed as Malians can be really infuriating because rebuilding them is just a lot of clicks.
See if the clicks in this fight are on point here. Nice cluster coming in. The Javs are picking away at this. The pit mine has been targeted. So DeMu, he is quite weak right now, right? But give this 2 minutes with the eco kicking in behind this. That's where things start to kind of eclipse what Cat can do. I also think Cat has started to spread his berry gathering out. So you might get to a stage soon where he needs to shift to a new patch.
Yeah, he's been on that berry patch on the left for quite a while. And the pit mine goes down, the wall gonna get targeted. Yeah, this berry's almost out, so he's gonna have to move to like the middle of the map, which further exposes him and forces the commitment here. If he loses a fight now, it could be disastrous. But for now, holding a sizable military advantage, he has the ram hitting on the pit mine and the houses. I mean, I don't really see. I don't see the way out for DeMu unless he can get a lot of units out quickly.
It's really hard, right? Like now with the pit mine gone as well, with gold access becoming a little bit more lame, he doesn't have the ability to just keep booming cow and booming Javs, but numbers are at least swelling up. And Cat needs to be careful about this approach, right? Like if you get too distracted trying to burn through the walls, you give over 5 or 6 free kills, all of a sudden this more premium Malian army can fight.
Yeah, the Javs have been trading pretty well for the last like 30 seconds or so. They've been picking off a lot of these archers, but there's still 30 archers on the field, so the spearmen just can't commit against the Ghazi. The Ghazi will survive too long, and the Ghazi are just going to commit. The Vils on the north going to have to retreat.
Oh, they're going to get pinched. There's way too many Ghazi. He runs right past him. DeMu had to lose more villagers in the choke point there. The Donzos are on the way. By the time they get here, Archer's already in position, and that's now a 5 eco lead for Cat.
And the army's just still a little too big. You know, it's one of those things where this Danso Jav comp has been kind of the bread and butter of Malians for a long time. There's other ways to play it, obviously, but you talked about the Sofa and why players want it. It's so that you don't get into weird situations like this. Like, if you had, like, 5 Sofa, imagine if you just had him patrolling the reinforcements without any threat to this string of units across the map. You're never going to get defender's advantage here. Like, Cat is just going to keep up the pressure, keep going, and he's going to dive into the wood line here. This is a bit of a commitment.
Yeah, but the Donzos can't lean in here, right? The Archer count is getting way too high, even for the Javelins. Like, this is DeMu in critical danger.
He's not really able to split, and he's overkilling so much on each of these. One of the... Oh, there, that was a decent split. But yeah...
There's a big problem here, though, right? Like, the fact he went Donzo told Cat what he was up to. Jonzo. Yeah, he went for the Jonzo.
He's Dunzo because he went Jonzo.
Exactly, because, like, what you tell your opponent is, like, I'm not coming out, right? And the other thing is, you know, you mentioned that cavalry for him. You're seeing the value of the cavalry, not just the cutting waves like you're talking about, but also in these fights. Like, it's forcing DeMu to commit out of position, and that's really bad because of this 1-2 punch. The Ghazi aren't actually meant to do any damage. They're just meant to bait you. The archers are the backbone of most Delhi strats coming together, right? Like, I talk about Ghazi being OP for what they are, but they aren't the unit that wins you the game. The unit that wins Delhi the game 9 times out of 10
is the Scholar.
Yeah, there's definitely the Scholars in the archery range.
With that, take away the Scholar, and Delhi is a bad civ. I'm just saying it. They never get their tax, you know? They can't get the sacred sites.
I've still got Tower of Victory, you
know? I'm just kidding, obviously. Let's see. Oh,
wait, what?
This is a really good position for Cat. He's going to catch both armies where he wants them.
What a seamless move there. Cat now with the dive in the javelins. Archer's cutting off those spearmen. I mean, DeMu just has to run the Donzo straight in. The A-clear is going to betray him, and this should be game.
Well, that's a lot of jabs, though, still. But a lot of Vills went down. 9 Vill kills, no pit mines. I mean, we talked about it at the start, but, like, I feel like Malians have to shift, like, do a different opening.
Yeah.
I think the really delayed, like, the wall was really expensive. It delayed his first building. It prevented him from really securing his base. And then the rest of the game just felt like he's been behind the entire time. He has no eco. Even all the cattle, like, they're in there, but you just give away to Cat the entire map for food. He's on the berries in the south. He's on the hunt. He's just comfortably gathering wherever he wants, and his rally point is in your eco with no threats.
I just don't think this type of strategy works for the Malians against Delhi on these type of spawns. Like, this type of strategy maybe has a chance of working if you go for, like, a double gold back spawn, but this was 1 forward and 1 to the side, right? There's nothing defensive, nothing safe here, and now there's nowhere to hide. This is undeniable. 62 military to 10. DeMu seems a bit reluctant to let go. I did mention that Cat sometimes has an issue identifying the endgame state, but I don't think that's going to be a problem in this one.
Well, we'll see. He hasn't killed DeMu yet, as DeMu has not resigned or lost the game. 4 minutes left on the sacred site. DeMu maybe just thinking, I'll play it out till then, see if maybe a miracle happens. Because the odds of him decapping at this point seem low. These villagers looking for something to do.
They're like, we're meant to be building a landmark about now, but we seem to be a little bit short on the food.
And the rams come in. 3 rams. This is... Cat smells the blood in the water. Pouncing on the prey, as a cat might do. Oh!
DeMu, he's looking like a little mouse right now. Sadly, there's no hole in the wall to hide in here anymore. I mean, I think the way he could have possibly played this game, I know the Recon especially has been doing this experimental build with mass scouts as a front line. That would actually give you a pretty effective front line against this comp you're up against, and then either Javelins, Archers at the back. But, I mean, this type of build with this map spawn, you're seeing why Delhi are king, and this is another reason why I feel Malians are incredibly overrated on this particular map.
Yeah, I think not having any cav just really, really hurt DeMu here. I think if he had even just 4 Sofa, he could have raided so hard, right? Like, Delhi was so exposed on so many resources this game, and not having to worry about anything just puts Delhi in easy mode, right? Like,
I mean, this is pretty much just standard orderly Delhi. Like, nothing was off the beaten track at all. Like, not one point in this game was he forced to do something we haven't seen a Delhi player do. a million times, right? And I mean, the problem is what Marlian's done here, what DeMu done, is exactly what has failed. I feel like almost every Marlian before him, right? With rare exceptions, depending on outplays.
We stand on the shoulders of giants. Failed Malians before us.
I think it's just, I don't think that, like, you know, they're on their shoulders as much as their back. They're just corpses on the ground at this point, you know?
Oh gosh. Oh, grim. Grim. Yeah, no, I feel like the fact that DeMu still hasn't crossed the mid-map, like the furthest he got was that Danso got to the sacred site and then died, right?
That guy was proud of himself. He's like, I have saved the entire Marlian kingdom.
He's an intrepid explorer, the first of his kind to make it out of the homeland, right? Like,
Are you suggesting that DeMu still thinks that the Earth is flat and that
he
Marlians
might
are
not,
the
but his,
center of the universe?
his people might at this point. They haven't seen very much of the world.
I mean, they're just going to see 6 feet
Their
under
maps
now.
are pretty
Oof.
small. Like, it's just like a scribble and a circle, and the cattle go here, a big X, and then the rest of the map is like Delhi lands, and it's like bad, and like it's covered in shadows on the maps, you know.
Just like you're
That was
basically just
rough.
envisioning the Lions King scene where it's like, we have food and
Exactly.
gold here. We don't need anything else. What's that over there? That's the Badlands. You don't
Yeah.
go there. Just a
Yeah,
Delhi
yeah.
flag rather waving. But
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
what an
Really sad for
upset.
DeMu. Yeah, I did not expect that. You know, DeMu often just comes into Malian matches so prepared, and his strats are generally very clean with Malian. I love watching his Malian gameplay. So a bit of surprise here. But at the same time, we kind of talked about at the start, maybe Delhi has a bit of an advantage here. Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if it's going to remain tough, right? Because we didn't talk too much about the draft. We
Draft,
did get
yeah.
something peculiar as well. King of the Hill is not something we're used to seeing very often. Players have been very vocal about their distaste, their hate for this particular map. So I was surprised to even hear it had gotten picked once. But to see it picked again, this time, DeMu versus Cat, and it's going to be Roos versus Abbasid. So things start to look a bit up for DeMu here.
Yeah, the Roos are kind of one of the original kings of this map. The way that the woodline spawn means you just have very clean, um, how do you call it? Like very clean hunting cabins, and your Castle Age landmark, the High Trade House, can just go in a corner and be insane. And then on top of that, you have really clean paths for your scouts. I think that's something people don't talk about a lot in this map, is the fact that when your scouts spawn, you're just immediately near deer, right? It's like you just immediately find them because they're in these channels essentially. And while your opponent can do that, you're gonna spend less time looking for scouts and just more time killing the deer, right? And I think I feel like when I play Roos on King of the Hill, at least when I used to, I haven't played Roos on King of the Hill in a long time. Just want to mention that it always felt like you had plenty of bounty. So I'm expecting that. And Abbasid,
Now
I
that's the
don't know
interesting
about
part.
that. That's
It's actually more effective than you think against Roos. I actually think Abbasis have a little bit of an upside when they're up against Roos, because you know it's always going to be a 2TC game, right? Like that's really Roos's bread and butter. Abbasis can do that more smoothly. They already save more food with the fresh foodstuffs. They have decent counters to the units that you lean into, right? Like if this goes into mass archer blobs, you'd have to constrict the Abbasis to the point that Castle Age is never an option, because if it is, composite bows,
Pause it.
veterancy, yeah, it's not even close of a fight. And even in the earlier phases, you get these knights out, but if a camel archer comes through, if you ever do reach that Castle Age, let's say you don't do military wing first, the camel rise are a fantastic reset. So
Right.
the way I view this matchup, Roos, I think you have to kind of play it hard and fast. One of the problems is I've noticed the Bassa players have got really good at punishing players for going these fast castle builds off of Naked 2TC. This spawn might make that more difficult to do, because typically when you see a Basses punish that, it's because you have deer on the far right, deer on the far left. As we know, this map can often turn into a wolf fiesta, and I think a big reason why Roos is so favored is the absurdity of their walls, right? They're double health, and they build quicker, and they cost the same as everyone else's palisades.
Yeah, when the game like stagnates, it becomes very well centric. But the last time we saw this map was from Beastie, and didn't he just go full Jugnu, full send?
I
And
think
it just
so.
like
Yeah.
won. Like I kind of wonder if maybe players are overthinking the map a bit and forgetting that aggressive strats can just win the game, maybe. Right? So
Yeah.
we'll see. Sometimes the resources on this map can be really weird. The fact that your wood line is so far from the TC means that early aggression can also pay off dividends, which is why, again, why Rus I tend to think is really favored here, is they're going to build a wooden fortress that's just 8 garrison slots, or the Kremlin, right? Just boom, you're safe on your wood line for a while, right? And
I hope that goes on the wood line, right? Because I know some people highlighting the high ground. I think that's a mistake. You give up the wood buff that early on, the Abbasid economy will eclipse yours, right? So
yeah,
that's
you got
all.
to put it.
Yeah, that's going to be the number one detail we'll highlight in this early games. We hop into the second game of the DeMu Cat series. Cat with an unexpected lead here. Can he turn it into a stomper of an upset? Because Abbasids, they've got some decent strategies up against the Rus, but at the same time, DeMu, Rus, S tier Civ in competitive, it's
The
hard to really
Rus.
bet against it.
Yeah, no. Also, he's got a great map. He can put the Kremlin kind of towards the north side of his TC, and that would cover like the gold if he needs it.
Hmm.
And it would kind of cover that whole north side. Oh man, like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's a reason Rus is banned in most series right now, and it's because the Civ is just so well rounded on so many maps. And we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
it's
excited
awkward.
to be surprised by Katsa Bassett here.
Yes. So let's just go through the options here. We're not doing trade wing because we know there's no trade post on here. That's kind of a given for anyone who's hoping for some Bassett trade. Even if you weren't on a map with no trade post, it's terrible against Rus due to Knights and scouting. Like the biggest issue that I find when people face off against Rus is they try to get secretive. It's almost impossible to be secretive against the Rus because of the free scouts, right? Like you can't deny them early on, and you can't hide info from them. So I think Cat's going to kind of be wearing his heart on his sleeve here. Likely we'll be seeing military wing into a transition of 2 TCs. That TC transition should be kind of mirrored at first, but the cool thing about the Abbasids is with fresh foodstuffs, they tend to eke out a lead because of that, right? Like they spend less on free TCs with fresh foodstuffs than other civs do on 2 TCs for production.
I think it's also worth noting here that Bruce with DeMu, he instantly committed to wheelbarrow before he even
Yeah.
like kind of knew he had enough. He's very confident here. He's getting 2 more wolves, and that's going to be enough for the age up. Very comfortable. So loads of bounty here, right? This is a
Yep.
very comfortable Roost game so far.
A little
And
tip on that, by the way, like people
yeah,
shouldn't like wheelbarrow is it's a fluid thing. Until it completes, the resources aren't gone. What I hate is sometimes people wait until they're safe to start researching it. Like if DeMu at any stage saw this as a really bad bounty game, he could have just cancelled it, right? And
that's a
then
very
got the
good
goal
point.
back.
Yeah. But it's nice that we get to see him commit to it, right? On the UI. It's like we know
Yeah.
he's because we've seen games where we think someone's just waiting and then they never get it, right? Cough cough. Last time we were casting, right? Oh,
Oh
man.
god. Yeah, no, I remember
Yeah.
that one. And then there was the one where they refused to cancel it, and then they had to wait for 2 ticks of hunting
Yeah,
cabin, which was basically almost another minute waiting for their attack.
it happens to the best of us, right? I wait. I genuinely usually wait on
Oh
wheelbarrow
no.
until I know I have enough gold because I'm afraid I'll miss it, you know. But again,
Yep.
I'm not I'm not top 8 player, right? So
It's like
uh,
then your brain's like, but it's a minute and
yeah,
a
yeah.
half. I should notice that, right? But then
You
you're like, oh, you're
should.
so focused on
You're
the
so focused on getting the bounty, right? It's a lot of
exactly.
clicks. I don't know. All right, and here we have the scouts looping around, so he sees the stone. He knows the game plan, so it's millwing into 2TC. Nothing really surprising here. Abbasid have been doing this really ever since the new military wing, right? It's which is I say
Yeah,
new. It's been out for like a year,
it's been up for quite
right?
a while, but
Oh,
I don't
down in
know.
the south.
I find military wing in this type of situations bad, right? Like on an open map such as Dry Arabia, you're gonna get options, but King of the Hill, like what do you do with these 4 units?
I
Right?
mean, you
Maybe
can go around the back and burn this, right?
I guess, but like the reality is, a high-level player sees you coming with that. He's just going to pull a villager and build a short fortified wall, right? And then you're not getting in.
Yeah, and if it's really bad, you could always call gremlins, right? The
Yeah.
in the south side, even though it's bad against the archers, you at least force them back. Maybe you kill one of the spearmen, right? Can we take a look at that Kremlin? Let's see how well does it defend the wood line.
I mean, I guess the
Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah,
that
yeah.
is snug as a bug, right? That is cozy.
I mean, in
Could
fairness,
take a
right?
nap there.
The deer aren't anywhere nearby, right? And the berries are far out, so you will be able to block like a loose TC. But I
Mhm.
think the issue here is surely DeMu. Does he just pull the militia? Maybe you just go for a stables as well, like one knight and militia to counter this, because then the military wing's dead, right?
Uh-oh, does Cat not
Oh,
see the
what?
Kremlin?
Wait. his scout saw the villagers run off to the west, right?
Yeah, and that's likely where Demu's going to drop the TC, right? He's not going to drop it on the wood and the stone. That's defended by the Kremlin. So I think it's going to be here on the gold.
That
That
is
doesn't give
wild.
him any deer, right? So that is notable. Generally, you want it on the deer, which is going to be forward, but maybe Demu will. Oh, maybe is he building a gate just to go? Oh, and he just
Yeah,
walks right in.
yeah, and that is going to be on the spin and going down. So like a night play would be perfect here, but I don't think DeMu feels he needs it. Yeah, this wall has multiple facets to it, right? Like you can actually go out for like a TC drop and then run back if something happens. I wouldn't even be surprised if he walks out past and then walls that small ramp near the deer and then goes for a TC drop because then he gets deer plus boar, right? Yeah, there
You're
we
saying
go.
just go out there.
Yeah, and then you wall
Yeah,
the little ramp there because after that, if you look at the map, it's a
he has
giant
to be
cliff.
there now, right? Like he's just placing it
Okay, he's
safe.
gone
Okay,
safe.
on the
Yeah, okay.
berries. Okay, don't
Huh, kind of surprised
love
by
that
that.
spot.
Yeah.
It works. Like it's a TC, but that's a much better TC for Cat, right? And I guess that's the difference
Yes.
between the landmarks, right? You have two archers to deny.
Well, the surprising part is that DeMu didn't feel he could get away with a TC on the north, even though if you check his vision, he's got 3 scouts, right? Like he saw exactly where the military units were. He's already scouted that this is a very cliff-heavy spawn of King of the Hill, right? Like usually you have double ramps on the north and south, but in this game you've basically got one ramp on the north and one on the south, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a big funnel. Like the north and the south whole sections are walled off pretty heavily, and looks like Cat is going to wall it off. So it's not going to be a ton of aggression this game. We're going to have to settle in and wait for that castle timing because not seeing many opportunities here for either player to deal meaningful damage. I mean, maybe Demu could come forward and pressure this gold. That's one thing his town center from Cat isn't covering is the gold and the stone. But
Yeah.
but he would need to make units.
Exactly. I don't think he's going to do
Yeah.
that, right? Because the walls are coming in. So if DeMu tries to all in him now, it's going to be a heavy investment. Whereas when you're playing Roost, it just feels more natural to get Castle Age.
Oh yeah.
The 2TC situation is going to like lead to more eco for the Bastards. One thing we have to keep an eye out for, I assume Cat has rushed Golden Age 1. That's really important for the 15%. Yeah, so that's already online. So actually at
Yeah.
this stage, he's competing with the Kremlin effect just on wood, right? And that kind of feels like a weakness of the Roost in this matchup in that you don't need wood to get fast castle, right? You actually need food and gold here, which is something the Bastards have your number on.
Yeah, and survival techniques coming in, so gonna have a really comfortable hunt and come here.
Mm.
Plenty of food. But sending in a lot of vills to wood and queuing up more spearmen. I don't see what those are really gonna do. Maybe he's fearing the night play. Maybe this
Yeah,
is just to get the scouts out of his base. I don't know.
I think he's worried there's a knight coming, but then it does feel weird to me that Cat has already built the walls up. He shouldn't care if a knight's coming. Like, you do a reactionary spear play. Actively doing it feels a bit weird. Can we check the Golden Age to see how many buildings he's at? Because I'm wondering if that was just a... Yeah,
No.
so it might be that he built a house after this, or a lumber camp after this.
No, he had
Okay.
10 before he placed the barracks. Wait,
Yeah,
which
then
is
I'm at a loss. It's a...
it feels very defensive in nature, like he's afraid of the timing. He's even getting hardened spearmen. Oh my gosh, he's seeing ghosts.
Yeah,
He's seeing ghosts. His scout died, I think, right? No, yeah,
No,
no, it didn't.
he
kept
has a
it
scout.
alive.
There's nothing about this that will make sense of it for you, Winston. Like,
Well, I
it's-
mean, in Castle Age, what's Demo going to make naturally, right? He probably
oh
wants
sure,
to add a
but
stable,
that
right?
means you're nowhere near teching up, right? Like you've put yourself
Yeah.
further back. Like, do the maths on what he just spent. 150 wood, and he's gone up to 7 spears. 7. That's
Yeah.
ludicrous. That's over 500 resources. Like that's over a third of your tech up into this play.
Yeah, this and look at the destroyed value, like too, like the spearman going down was huge, and now we also have the high trade house in a beautiful spot. Guess the value. I'm saying, I think this is like a 210. We need to let it tick.
Probably-
You gotta let it tick first.
Yeah, you gotta let it tick. We have to check it back in a minute. It's probably gonna
I'm
be
thinking
like 219.
Don't you dare! Just yelling at vodka aggressively. Don't you dare click on this.
Don't ruin the
Don't
mini
click.
game.
Don't ruin my game. No, no,
No,
no.
hold.
Hold, Hodor. All
That should
right.
be a thing. We should start
Oh, we
committing
got some
pesty to
guesses
things
in chat.
like.
BC said 248. Or what? 246. What was your guess? Mine was 210.
I think I went with 219, but I feel like I did lowball myself.
Oh,
like,
come
it's a
on! You went
corner.
219. I went 210 first.
All right, fine. I'll go 238. There you go. You happy
But
now?
now you're just below Beastie. So now you're just. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, now I'm playing Risk.
Dude, this
Okay.
is. Come on. This is scuffed. This is scuffed. Oh man.
And if I'm wrong, I blame Capture Age. Horse Archer's now on the way. DeMu still loves this unit so much. Not many players commit to it anymore. It's kind of surprising, actually. I think DeMu is one of very few players.
Faye. Faye commits
No, we
to
don't.
Yeah, we got
don't.
Warrior Bug, Ivy and Trinity, but no Ivy and Trinity, so it's not Faye for sure. Yeah, no, I love that playstyle, by the way. I think it's so cool and so fun to watch. It's a very dynamic style. So I'm excited to see DeMu trying it here, and that's going to just counter all these spearmen that have been made. I mean, DeMu had the vision, right? He saw the spearmen being made. Why make knights right away? Your opponent is walled and has a bunch of hardened spearmen. Why make knights right away? Right? I think he's going to need knights if he wants to hold the center. His warrior monk should come to the center and immediately just grab the middle, maybe. I
think
it's relics first.
You could actually just go, you could just go men at arms. But I think DeMu, did he go for a double monastery? I don't think this is double monastery, which is weird.
Jeez, it was way
2-7-1.
What's his? Is he? No way. He can't be.
No, he's not. No, he's level 2. He's level 2.
No way.
It was 335. So it would have been. It would have been that I was correct if he was not about it. I swear that it definitely would have been correct. We kind of forgot how ridiculous this is. Did they change something about King of the Hill?
Banned. It's always banned.
Yeah, but like even when we used to have it, I feel like you didn't get numbers that high.
Have people played it though since the change to the hunting cabin tree claiming thing, and the way that it works, like diminishing returns on the trees? Like
yeah, but even so, it should be worse then, right? It shouldn't be better if that's the case. Has King of the Hill changed so that trees spawn tighter? Is what I'm wondering.
Can we look at the trees?
Can we like?
There's no action here. They're just hanging out.
So those trees look a lot tighter than before, right? Like before, it looked like a countryside train ride.
Guys.
Nah, ain't gonna work.
Sorry, I completely. I was just surprised. He just ran his guy in. Okay,
I mean, he jumped the gun, right? Like DeMu's very gung ho with these horse archers. Right now, like Kat has made a mistake though. He didn't prep the veterancy. He didn't think it was going to turn into this.
Composite bow should do well though in the long term here, right?
Yeah, but you have to have them, and that's the whole point in DeMu's build. Like the crazy thing is, if Kat bothers to watch like one DeMu stream, he'd know he does this all the time. Like I'm not even exaggerating. Like, every single time I open a DeMu Roost game, it's horse archers.
He does love it, and I do love the style. Right? I think it's a really dynamic way of playing. I mentioned this before, but and now we have man at arm follow up. So just. Whoa, that is such a soul read on the archers. This is sick. Yeah, this is sick.
It's a smart read, right? Because you need to be resource efficient. You can't go knights, even if there aren't spears. It's just way too much food. So this gives you a lot more bang for buck. And we're on a map that's very tight, right? It's not like you need knights that are going to flank raid. There are no flanks to really raid here. Your opponent has walled himself in, and he's hiding in a corner.
And we also have the resources for a keep coming in from DeMu, right? He's on 540 stone. He's going to have enough shortly. He's got a lot of ills on stone. He is about to all in this keep. Holy, this is a commitment to stone.
Okay, this is really smart though, because Kat is going mass archers. You do nothing against a keep.
He's going to have to transition to siege. A bastard can do siege pretty comfortably, but...
not the one they need.
Yeah, not what they need. I mean, dare I say rams? Composite bow on the way. Ecotex coming in for DeMu. He's prepping the hold.
Yeah.
He knows what this is going to look like. He's going to stop building eco. Not stop building, but like...
I think you turn this into a line of keeps, though, right? Like, not one, you go two. It's that classic kind of climb.
Is there enough
escalation.
Stone?
Are you kidding me? Look at the center of the map. There's a 2.4k stone. He's got 800 more here.
That stone, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why you drop the castle, so that
I know. Never mind. He doesn't have enough. Never mind.
Keep on the way already, Winston.
I know. So he gets the warrior monk buff in for the extra damage.
That's really good against the archers, right? Low base damage unit. Any ranged armor does help here. So horse archers definitely starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed, but the men at arms are being ignored. That's the bigger problem here. So like the way you're looking at this fight, Kat is just giving maximum DPS to the heavily armored boys.
Well, I mean, DeMu has to commit to this fight because he's got 10 villagers.
Oh my god.
Building a keep behind this.
He's going for it.
Cat's just gonna go for the deny, but in the meantime, isn't gonna lose a lot.
What is that one villager that just hung around, like committed to the duty here? So good push, Cat. I can't believe that. The timing on that as well. DeMu, it feels like if he just waited maybe an extra 30 seconds, the men at arms would have been a high enough number. But now, I don't think you get this up.
DeMu's completely out of food, and he's YOLOing his vills to die. Cat already with the 10-vil advantage. It's about to turn this into a 20-vil lead. The shift Q comes in. This is to hopefully give DeMu enough units to win the fight now. Wait. Okay, I thought there was a vil.
It's Dem out right now. I mean, he's literally got no one building that keep. And I don't see how it's ever going up.
Yeah, and the men-at-arms at this point can just get kited. A couple crossbows have been mixed in. DeMu just ran out of food.
This might just be over. Villagers.
The Vils are getting pulled. The Vils. Everybody alert, alert. Vils being pulled. And Vils going down by the droves.
So he'll get the castle up, but the price is going to be insanely high here. We're talking about probably a 25 villager lead at the tail end of this. Sacred Site timer was paused temporarily. It still has 8 minutes to go. And Cat should have the eco advantage now to just reset and come with siege.
Incredible fight for Cat there. Composite bow ticked in at just the right time, and it gave him so much damage. DeMu really didn't expect it, and I didn't either. I mean, it just shows why composite bows are so good, right? And you know, we see the double workshop coming in, so Treb's going to be the next follow-up for Cat. It's going to put him pretty, I would say, potentially weak, but I don't know. I don't see DeMu really with the economy to do a big like cav switch, so it's just going to be Springolds and Siege from DeMu to defend, right?
Yeah, and it's like Cat should have enough gold to contest this, right? Because he has that second vein that he's tapping on the north side. So, you know, Trebs are very hard to breach for DeMu in this situation. He doesn't just have to get Springolds, he now has to consider Mangoes because of the crossbow issue.
It's going to sound weird, but I would love to see DeMu put a wooden fortress here between the keeps, kind of, and get the tech for line of sight. He would know exactly what is going on. And it would also be just another annoying target to have to Treb. Wooden fortresses have a lot of HP, so trebbing it down would take a while. This Treb gonna start getting some value soon, though. And DeMu needs to get onto that stone. He's full send.
Villager a little bit too ambitious here. So second keep has been confirmed. That's info Cat didn't have before. Meanwhile, an attempted raid here. I usually find these raids go better when you send things that actually kill buildings.
That's the thing that kills buildings. Wait, and DeMu thought the same thing, and he's like, "Oh, I have time." He does not have time. That ram is going to pop that wall very quickly.
Do you care though? Because you have a second wall behind this, and a third wall behind.
Dare I say a fourth? Wait, this is actually kind of good for DeMu. It depends on how the siege war goes, though. If a Bassid gets enough Springolds out, which he can do with all the men-at-arms here, or if he just doesn't notice and loses. These Vils are bravely building this tower. We will do our job. Job's done. And dead.
Isn't that job's done as you hand in your resignation? You're like, nah, I'm out of here, man. They don't treat me right in these parts.
Oh, he snipes one of the Springolds. There's only one Springold to defend.
Wait,
but
the Parfait?
Cat isn't using it.
Okay, he almost ended up losing a trip there as well. A little bit dicey here. Cat, I think he's too focused on that flank raid, and he's about to find out why he shouldn't be.
I mean,
I hope you like mazes.
Most of the army is looping around, though, to join this, but that army is just archers, so it will get countered by the Mangonel. 4 Springolds up now for DeMu.
But why would he care? Like, I think Cat has completely misread this now. You've got a 5-minute timer ticking down right now.
Yeah.
Even if you get into DeMu's economy, even if you kill 30 villagers, how much time will be left on the sacred site? 2 minutes, maybe? That's not a lot to work with.
Yeah, the timer is a massive element. It's called King of the Hill for a reason. Cat seems to be taking it as King of the Rosie, because I'm imagining like ring around the rose. Never mind. I thought it. Never mind.
King of the Flatlands, you could have went with that.
King of the Low Ground.
King of the
King
edging,
of the,
you know,
King of the Anakin. I don't know.
King of the Trimmings, next to the Trimmings on the outskirts.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, crossbows now diving the double
boiling
keep.
oil.
Wait, that actually got researched? Oh my god, it's actually going to be good in this game as well. He's got way too many crossbows.
I mean, 4 Trebs are up, but they can't do anything.
Congratulations on your flank raid. Let me give you your reward. Arrows. It's a lot of arrows.
And there's just a defensive keep, because why not? He's just going to go to the gold. Those Vils are not going to... Wait.
No, he's fine. But
Those
I
Vills
just think
looting is crazy.
I don't think Cat's going fast enough, man. Like this, he switched strategy now after he realized it was a fail on that move with the flank, right? But I mean, now the way you've already started to lose the siege warfare, I don't see how DeMu loses this.
Well, the 4 trebs are getting their hits in, right? They are allowed to hit right now. There's a 5th treb on the way. The Springolds need to find a way to approach, but the crossbows could come in and deal a bit of a little tickle damage.
No, we're just age of springholding. Ignore anything Winston's saying. We're going back in time.
Hey, he almost killed one with this
It's
crossbow.
2021.
That's
The game is young. So,
sets up shop. Oh man.
classic Terra main, right? Gets in a game, trying to decide if he wants to play bio or mech.
That gold is not safe. There are 2 mangonels on the hill above this gold. If DeMu is looking at this, that's an obvious target. All the bills are going to be clumped up in vision. He's sending him. He's sending him. He sees it. He sees it. He sees it.
Mangoes are moving.
Surely he sees this. Come on.
Spoon's trading out right now. I mean, Cat just has to go and he knows it, right? Timers are not on his side here. Looks like he's getting the win in the fight there, though. 1 Spoon on advantage right now. Cat feels like he's going to need an extra treb here. DeMu just putting mind, body, and soul into that repair crew. Mango shot. He's going.
A little pump fake. I mean, if the keeps do go down, though, DeMu has invested a lot of resources into this. Oh, wait. What?
Mango, no.
Oh. Wait, he's not looking, though. Okay, he looks.
To
Wait, he
repair.
went to repair. Oh my gosh, I'm panicking. I'm panicking.
Okay, but that's pretty much his whole eco lead idle right now, right? So DeMu economically isn't that far behind, and he still has that timer going. He still has 4 relics rather. The sacred site. He's also got the high trade house. I'd argue his economy's fine here, especially when you consider this is all about siege. Yeah.
This push is about to happen, though. DeMu doesn't have the numbers. Only 5 against 8. It's just not enough Springolds.
Initial opening fire looked good. A little bit of overkill coming up from Cat. Men at arms are going to start leaking in here. But it looks like Cat's raw number advantage will hold up. The Trebs, however, what? The Mango!
The Vills are getting pulled. The Mango's on the north.
The Mangoes are doing it all right now. All the trebuchets are gone!
I'm speechless. He won the siege war initially. He killed all the Springolds. DeMu only had reinforcements. Cat didn't have enough Springold reinforcements of his own. And then he clumped all of his trebs up with the right click. And they just got absolutely devastated by that attack. This is now looking really tragic with only a minute left on the clock. What can Cat do?
He can go to game 3 because there's no way he's breaking in here. Just 14 crossbows left over. What an insane turnaround there. It looked like Cat would have time on his side to break through in the final 20 seconds, but high ground vision truly is an advantage. You saw it there. Those Mangoes should never be able to creep up like that, especially with 3 more Springolds left guarding those trebuchets, but now it's undeniable. Cat, even if he sends the villagers in, he's just going to get massacred. We are going to have a 1-1 scoreline. DeMu will not roll over and play dead.
The Bill pull comes in. 20 seconds on the clock. I don't even think they get there.
The Mangoes are still alive.
They don't even get there.
DeMu still has the Mangoes. If he just targets this big clump of villagers,
well,
we're going to hear a lot of
castles. The
going
keeper's
off
going to do enough. The boiling oil comes out after Bill's are almost dead. They go for the kill on this. They're going to go for the dive. DeMu actually has almost no units to defend this. It's just going to be the keep and the siege weapons now.
I mean, he's not even pulling his villagers. The wild part is DeMu isn't even pulling his villagers, just stand on site.
There's 3
Here
seconds.
we go. That's it. It's over.
Doesn't even
what an insane game. Either player could have taken this. Let that just go through your mind for a second. Process the way that this one flowed. But in the end, Benny Boy gets on the board.
Yeah, on the board indeed. With kind of a spicy win there. The Vil exchange in the early Castle Age when DeMu lost the keep and Cat was just up 20 Vils. It was like, okay, how does he do this? But the map has a name and the name matters, right? You got to be the king of the hill, right? You got to be on top of the hill. And DeMu showed why that's relevant, how those early investments in those defensive structures there were going to pay off later, right? And it showed, and his strategy was sound. I think, to me, part of this just reminds me why Roos was so dominant on this map. It was one of the dominant civs at the time when this map came out, and it kind of looks like it still is.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy the way this game went as well, right? Like, DeMu definitely jumped the gun on his keep timing. I think he'll realize that as well, right? Like, I think this is the weakness of horse archers. It gives you momentum, but then if you get pushed back, you get bit down, right?
Mhm.
But what it does at least do is keeps the series really intriguing because we're going to try to do it this time, Winston. We're going to try to talk about the wider draft. There were some weird implications going on here.
Right.
DeMu, interesting that he'd pick Ottomans with this map pool. The other intriguing one to me is Ibids as a pick for moving out. We have seen a lot of China, Zhuji, Marlins, a little bit of HRE, Order of the Dragon. Even English kind of makes sense to me, but the Camel Masters on a map like this, I'm not really sure what Dumu's thought process was with the draft.
I don't know either. They they have some weird ways to play water, I
Yeah.
guess, is the idea. I haven't really thought it through a Ubits on moving out. This is not a
No.
map I've played with the Ubits, so I don't know exactly how their build order would work. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to like get in game and try it to like really give a reason why this is good.
I
It might just
guess
be that he picked the Civ and felt it was flexible enough.
maybe maybe the Desert Raider, because when the tree lines get cut thin, right, you'll have a unit to shoot over. But that feels so nitpicky. I mean, you're going to have to go advanced wing anyway, right? Because if you don't go advanced wing, you can't contest the tech timings. You kind of get overwhelmed by the initial ships, which will definitely happen against Civ like the Chinese. The weirder part
Yeah.
to me, though, is like, think about it a different way. Dimu had Malians, he had Iabids. I feel like if you switch those two picks around, his draft makes more sense, right? Like, Iabids are fairly decent on coastal cliffs. They have usually got decent spawns. They get their fast castle, and then they
Right.
flood out. The Delhi matchup can be a little bit dicey if you get bogged down, but usually the way that people figured it out, I think Marine Lord was the one that shot off the first time, was the whole idea is you open with a few units, especially with an extra Desert Raider, you win the initial fight, and then you tech up. But instead, we have this very intriguing draft that leads us into a deeper phase that has me kind of question marking, because I think after this we've got to look at Archipelago, which has to be English for Dimu. The question mark is whether that can actually eclipse the HRE or the Dragon. And then Kawasan is going to be what? Like either HRE or Mongols versus Zhone or Ottomans?
I would assume Kawasan has Ottomans.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
thinking there.
That's where I would put them.
But if it's
Um,
HRE, you lose that. Right? Because like you can't win that anymore due to the Dark Age marching drills, right? I think HRE is ludicrous with that now.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
tricky, but I think that's why his draft is weird. The more we
Such a
talk
polite
about it,
way of putting
it's
it.
almost it's almost like Cat baited him. Like he gave him
Mm,
Roos, and then I think Demo just was like, "Oh, I have Roos," and then maybe he slotted Roos into too many of these maps, and it's
yeah.
like you can only play Roos once. I'm just kind of thinking here how this could have happened, but at the same time, I'm not exactly sure. I think English on Archipelago is more than fine, right? That's great.
Yes.
And I think Ottomans and Calasan are fine. Even against HRE, I think it's okay.
I
Like
think the
it's a playable game, right? It's a bit
yeah.
tricky, like you're saying, the Dark Age marching drills, but it's still a big investment from HRE. So maybe you can still play for one of the pawns, right?
Yeah, I think the
Or
English
both. You could still
issue
kind of play for both with Ottomans, right? Like
so with Ottomans, I think you have to play both because HRE will overwhelm you on one pond, right?
exactly, you play for
Yeah.
both, knowing you're going to sack one, forcing an investment on that one, right?
My worry
Intending to win the other, right?
is that that map traditionally for Ottomans is a spam and spam until you win, right? And I don't think you can do that against a lot of civs that Cat has his hands on, right? Like the HRE will
Yeah.
eclipse you because they just have superior gathering. They can keep it up for longer. Um, and by the time you're deep enough in the Dark Age where the eco gets weaker, you don't want to be that deep as the Ottomans anyway. It begins to get a bit weird. So yeah, well,
Is that the build with like for the Ottomans one? Is that the one where you do
you can do.
barracks and mill school or no?
I think you'd have to. You'd probably be doing barracks and mill school because it's going to have to go distance there. The
That's
one
okay.
upside is when you get to the imam point and you pull that right. But the challenge
Yeah.
is like I don't think a half decent H3 player will sense that coming and will pivot into like getting a tech up into archers, right? If they feel you've overcommitted. So yeah, We'll have to see if we get that deep. We're Fury crafting a lot. It could be Kawasan doesn't appear because I think that's likely to be the one safe in map number 5. But looking forward to
Right.
map number 3, this is an intriguing one, folks. We have seen a lot of China, a lot of Juji, right? Actually, like right now, this map pool in Master of Realms is making Juji look OP, which was unfathomable just a few weeks ago for such an underwhelming Civ. And while it isn't Juji, China is a close second for a power Civ. And actually, I'd argue potentially works even better on a map like this because moving out requires you to move out for your gold. Except China doesn't have to. And the Ayabids really don't know who they are when they don't have all those coins.
That's a fun way to put it.
I mean, this Civ doesn't know what to do if it doesn't have gold, right? Like, I think Ayabids is... The way I describe Ayabids at the moment, Civ that needs a nerf, but the moment you nerf it, it can't do anything.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's definitely because of the tempo and the timings, right? Like, the Civ just is... because it's kind of built on immediate benefits for mage up, it's kind of balanced and created around that, right?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I was discussing this on my stream the other day, and I was like, it's kind of weird because the balance is meant to be Ayabids get immediate reward, Abbasids get delayed reward, right? But that's actually not true because Abbasids with 2 of their wings get an immediate reward.
I don't know if it was like that, like, cut and dry between the two civs.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't think it's true either, like, exactly. But I think that was, like, the general idea with the U-bids, right? Was, you know, each of these wings gives you something pretty immediate, generally.
Yeah.
So it's not a tech that you have to, like, commit to. It's just, like, a benefit right away, right?
I'm just not sure what the immediate value is that DeMu is looking for in this game because I feel like you want Growth Wing, but if you go Growth Wing, like your tech time is going to be too late, right? So then you lose your fishing, which is why whenever we do see Ibids on water hybrid maps, like they were actually quite popular on Mongolian Heights, actually, they would always go Advancement Wing first so that they could get their boats out.
Yeah, and you're going to kind of have to here, right? Because, like, your gold is going to be so delayed. And like you said, with China, they're going to have enough. Likely. Well, taxes are still also going to be a bit delayed. Like
you'd be surprised. I've seen many
200
games.
Is...
Yeah.
But you don't have like a gold mine to like augment with like a long haul or two. Like, because I've tried a lot of builds with China where you don't mine gold in the Dark Age, and it's like it adds a lot. It makes it a lot more comfortable if you could just send like 3 vills there. But I guess because this is a water map, that really changes it. Yeah.
Because you just inflate a crazy amount of food and wood. And then, you know, you'd think you'd be weak
yeah,
because...
docks make a ton of tax. Usually you can't reach the dock on a lot of water maps, but here the dock is so close.
And then on top of that, you'd think at the start of your age, you'd be like, yeah, but you still need a lot more gold, right? It was like, okay, regardless of the detail of Imperial Academy being insane, you can just build a marketplace anyway and sell wood or food, right? So, like, that's usually how people pad themselves. The interesting thing, I've been seeing a few Chinese players trying to go for the Barbican first. I'm not convinced. It's kind of a cheesy play that doesn't do as much as you'd think with these spawns. Imperial Academy just feels a lot better because it gives you the demo pump advantage and spiral pump advantage very early.
We have the transport ship out now. Can we actually click on the other dock from Cat and let's just look at the tax because it gets to double dip, right? It gets taxes when the boat is made, and it gets taxes when there's drop-offs because it's both.
Yeah, but it's getting more than that. Have you seen what Cat done there?
He put a sheep there, so it's acting like a mill in this case. Of course, you can't supervise the dock because when you could, it was completely busted. Take my word for it.
I believe.
Yeah, that was too strong. It made. If you think China's good on water now. Oh,
that's interesting.
If you had seen that,
because I feel like Delhi might end up being good on water because of that as well, right? Because manuscript trade is kind of like supervision juiced up to free. So I wonder if we'll actually see maybe Delhi make a resurgence in the future with a few tweaks. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see what those would be. Yeah, the House of Wisdom coming down. There is a risk here, and I know this is going to sound weird. I haven't seen how too many of these games play out, but both of your landmarks are here. Intuitively, I kind of think China has an advantage innately because you could always build the Barbican on the outside, right? And in Feudal Age, immediately be diversified from like crazy all-ins somehow killing you, right? And because you could have a ton of eco. Outside, exactly. I'm assuming I've played maps like this before, especially against players who are really good at this kind of style. And it's like it's one of those things where you kind of need to keep all the win conditions in mind in a game like this for sure, right? Like where are the sacred sites? You got to make sure you know where those are because if you get surprised and suddenly you're not really in a position to push, could be a problem. Although I feel like the landmarks are going to be the more immediate threat, as well as what naval. Like it's going to be a lot of water here, right?
Yeah, the
Bunch of
crazy
boat.
thing is like when you watch China and Juji on this map in the mid late game, they just like, oh, I'm in danger. They build a landmark on the other side of the map, right? Like, that's just the way this plays out. It's so silly sometimes. And oh, hello. So we've got some more transpo ship shenanigans. We're
He's
going for a
around.
deep
So
dock.
this is for a dock. Yeah, a dock for the arrow slit. Although not on stone yet.
It's for the second wave. Okay, so he's trying to actually play 3 ponds versus 1, right? Because you remember you've got the ship, the fish rather are split into 4 different groups here. So this is like a very crafty detail, right? Ibids do pay half the price for their docks, so they're able to flex more of these buildings faster than other civs.
Yeah, and it's how Bassids generally play well as well. And this is also going to give them forward positions with repairs, right? You want these locations to be your repair zones, and it just makes the game a lot more comfortable for you because this becomes a defensive area. And DeMu is up, and there's only one War Galley out already for Cat.
Yeah.
You see where
Unfortunately
that's
for
going?
DeMu, that archer ship queue up has been done against the wrong civ. If it was actually a standard civ, he might have got that archer ship out quick enough to kill the villager. Instead, Cat, first ship is going to head south side. DeMu. I think he's got the Springle coming out down here. Okay, that was underwhelming. I was like, oh,
Do I look
fishing
like
boat.
a springled to you? A springled fishing boat?
I mean, you could load a
How do we
Springle on
get the
that,
fish?
but
Did you?
probably...
I think it would sink.
I think it would just flip.
Yeah, I think it would just flip over, not too much. And the War Galley's in being super annoying and actually going to get a Vil pick. Oh! A little dodge.
Yeah, that was really smart by Cat to try and go for that boat, by the way. It's not just that it's closer. It's actually much
Alone.
easier to get eco kills on solo boats because when they're grouped
All the
together,
arrows hit.
the arrows hit different targets. It's just so annoying. Makla, I'm going to try to cut him down here. Actually, DeMu, if you microed this... Oh, God. The
Oh,
timing on that. He's attacking the wall by accident here. Like, Cat's wall just saved him there.
Yeah. And now he's going to go back for defense. And the transport ship is going to be in the front to tank it. He maybe thinks this is a Hulk initially. It is not a Bagla, though. That is a transport ship disguised as a Bagla.
They are pretty good for it, though. Like, 400 HP on that thing for 100 wood, and there is no unit in the game that gets bonus damage against them. So they're actually surprisingly effective at absorbing.
Towers, right?
Yeah, towers. On
Against
water,
walls.
though, nothing at all. Right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's just our defensive emplacements is basically your only thing. I think Springolds do work as well, so like Siege, but in terms of on water, demos don't get bonus damage, archer ships don't, Springle ships don't. So pretty damn effective unit in that regard. It's why I think Marlins could be a very broken pick on this map because of the transport ship plays.
And interestingly, DeMu has 2 mines gathering gold on the map, and I like this kind of spread approach. Feels a little less wrecked by one raid, right? And
I mean,
meanwhile, Cat not
you should
able
be
to
getting
really.
raided though, right? Like by
Well,
a Chinese player at this stage.
at this stage, yeah, but I think it's still like it's forward planning, right? Like,
Oh.
eventually, this is going to be relevant. Because you have
Well,
to
how about-
expect that China will have buildings on the mainland eventually, right?
Yeah, but how about that for relevance? Now, this has been why Basses have been getting played quite a bit in scrims at the moment. It's the teak masks.
Teak. I love teak masks. It's a very cool tech.
Teak is peak, right? The extra 15% health.
Teak is peak.
For those wondering, this is basically boot camp for your water units. It's actually incredibly effective.
Yeah, and it's available to both the Ubids and a Bassid, as they share mostly the same naval structure, right? Almost identical, actually, right? No, it is
I
identical.
think it is identical, right?
The only
Yes.
difference is like how the landmarks play into water maps, right?
Yeah,
Like
which...
eco wing versus advancement kind of thing. Culture, sorry, versus advancement.
Oh, yeah, you mean for the discounted arrow slits.
Yeah, and just like also
Speaking of which-
how that plays out with like the timings as well. It's just different how you do the FCs.
It's intriguing actually that Cat went for arrow slots like this, by the way. He's been pretty committed. He's actually got a lot of stone gathering happening in the right corner. So he seems to rely on like more of the iron defense strategy here to reach out.
And you said units on the mainland, but we have the stable coming in for DeMu, and I think that's a smart play, especially because Cat is not Song yet. Obviously, DeMu probably doesn't know this, but once he does become Song, where's the Barbican going to be, right? Probably on the mainland.
I think DeMu does know this, because if there was a Barbican, it would be dropped aggressively to try and harass your wood line. And if you look, right now, Cat's eco is getting harassed. Yeah, second fleet was moving in, so Fishing's getting out. He can pretty much see everything he needs to here.
Yeah, wait, what's going on water production? DeMu just has way more stuff.
Honestly, I don't know. I can kind of guess.
Is it because he put 10 vills on stone or something?
No. Yeah, it's because the villagers he sent out to the mainland aren't gold gatherers; they're stone gatherers. They are solely there for stone.
5 vills on stone, and he's building a mill for the single sheep. He's in trouble economically. Something went wrong here.
Can we check his taxman count? Because I don't think it's high. I don't think he's actually got that many. I think he's got 2, maybe. So, yeah. So he's got 2. He's supervising on the wood. He's trying to run that little taxman around everywhere, but it just feels like he's not returning enough from that one guy.
To repair with vills, which just eat it instantly to that many baglas. The bagels coming in for the kill. The DeMu demo does get the kill on the dock in the end. The Vill gonna have to retreat, and now this whole pond section is kind of won by DeMu, and this is very awkward, and the horseman comes in with perfect timing.
I mean, this is suffocating now. Cat, he needs more food, right? He realizes he's behind in the sprinkle count. This is how he rectifies it, but now he's being idle up.
Moving out, I'm moving back in, Mom. It's like a kid coming home from college. Red's too high. Let me in. Wait.
No. This is actually worse than that. No, this feels 10 times worse than that. This is the my wife left me. She took the house. She took the dog. Can I live in your basement? Oh no.
Oh, this is.
I think he's just dead. Look at the eco right now.
He's dead, Jim. The Vills. Wait, the Vills are on this transport. They don't have anywhere to go.
It's okay. We're a sea people now.
The taxman just eats a bunch of shots to the chest. He's okay, though. He limps home to tell his friends and family. I was just doing the rounds at work today, and a bunch of bolts hit me.
Do you ever feel like when you kill a taxman, it should have a taunt effect on all the nearby villagers as they run over to pick up all the coins off the ground?
Okay.
I'm just looking for Chinese nurse, man, you know?
I see. So it's just like a
no, it's IA. IA is the problem. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, like you shot him and then his bags of coins burst everywhere. And then the villagers like, oh, money. And they just stop gathering. You don't get the gold back. They just keep it themselves.
That sounds kind of fun.
It is. The funnest part is knowing the Chinese
Is the official an eco unit for the purposes of the Byzantine tech?
Yeah, it's got the worker tag.
It does, right? Yeah, so yeah, you get gold that way. That Vill is bravely chopping that tree.
That taxman is a little bit too close to the edge there. If I was inclined to say death to taxes right now.
Yeah, this is. Cat has to feel super suffocated. He's still holding on. He was able to solidify what he does have, and he's trying to get another sneaky dock up. He has plenty of stone for an immediate. Yeah, arrow slits there. Wow.
The problem is I don't know how you're going to contest this long term now with no gold, though.
I just don't have wheelbarrow because they have no gold.
Death to taxes, quick! All the villagers, grab the coins, Kick the body behind the lumber camp.
Kick the body behind the lumber camp. Jeez, that is a violent and grotesque way of explaining your mind to the world. You probably should keep. That's one of those. Do you like
taxes?
That's one of those thoughts that should stay inside.
So you're saying I shouldn't move those thoughts out of my mind?
No, keep them in. Keep them in. Like Cat's Vills in this game, keep them in.
Like keep them on the central island of my brain, kind of like Cat right now. Yeah, I can see that. Cat basically has one pump at this. If this fails, it's over.
That is a big navy from DeMu, though.
It is very stacked, though, and those demos are being ignored.
No, not really. That is 16 bagels. I had a bagel this morning.
How many of these bagels do you think you could eat?
Maybe one.
One. So Cat's a big boy compared to you because he's trying to eat 17 bagels.
That's a lot of bagels. That's like a lot of bagels to try and consume.
I don't think
As we start talking about food, it's because the water is mostly won here. We got to see this last engagement, but Cat has been trying to like keep the distance and keep the poke going so he doesn't do a full commit. For some reason, DeMu is also keeping that stance. I feel like he could just full send at this stage.
Can we just double check someone in case we didn't glance it? Because I'm always careful with this. It took the House of Wisdom just in case there's an advancement on the way, because I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, no, we're good. You always have to check with this Civ. You know how it is.
An advancement.
Because it's really hard for the UI to render a bar across the top. Because, like, you know, there's loads of trees on this map, Winston. We didn't want to overwhelm people's species.
Makes sense.
Demo? Ooh.
The demo connects on the bagels on the north, but
I mean,
now
no,
the
it barely touched one.
Yeah, it tickled him.
Like,
and now
what you have to realize is this isn't just...
Taxman!
Death to taxes, torn again. Wait,
he just...
he's sunken treasure.
He's out of here. Was that a shinobi? That was a shinobi in disguise. Would that be fun if sometimes you had a 1 in 20 chance for the shinobi to turn into an official?
Or a sheep. I take that. I think that's... I actually want Shinobi to dress as sheep.
That'd be cute as hell.
I just realized this is not actually 21 bagels. This is 21 bagels with butter. Right? Because the teak mass. So, like, it's even more that Cat has to try and eat into.
You just remind me of the band 21 Pilots. 21 bagels, though, is a little different. Oh, man, Cat is... He's got 5 gold in a tree. I didn't realize, but he's surviving on only tax income.
Yeah, and if you check the trade post, he doesn't have that as an option either, right? Because he's kind of exploited it a bit too much. So if you look at the marketplace in Cat's base, he ain't getting good rates on resources anymore. He's just bought too much. The funny thing is actually DeMu could be rigging him in this situation because, like, remember the trade rates that share between players. Like, if you know someone's gold starving, you can make it worse.
Yeah, you could also sell, right? Although
stock markets in the medieval age, right?
Donk markets. All right, let's see. Cat gonna try and hold this dock, but DeMu playing really safe here. He's up to 170 population. Well, 169. Nice. He got wheelbarrow too, so his economy's way better at this stage.
Yeah, I think he's gonna trigger advancement in a sec. Like, is Cat just maybe actually a cat in real life, and he's just done that classic thing where the cat gets comfortable and refuses to move? Because I feel like we should be moving on to game number 4 here. This is... I'm not really sure what Cat's way out is. Even if he out micros, it kind of feels like DeMu has... Like, even if DeMu just right-clicks past him, right? The auto-attacks the springboards.
DeMu has triple the Navy. like yeah. Can't he just go? He also has teak mat. Like, he has a better Navy and a bigger Navy. The only thing that would stop him is if he is maybe just scared of demos and doesn't want to, because he is mostly bagels. So it's like if he, so I keep saying bagels. He's mostly bagelas. So if he commits like that, and here we see growth coming in, which is really nice for him. He's also got way more vills on the Northern Gold now, and he's just sort of patrolling the right side. And I guess he just knows that there's no threat from Cat on the land. And how is Cat still playing this?
I can't imagine this is doing anything for his mental at this stage, right? Like, because either
trying to hold out. Yeah,
like maybe he's just waiting for DeMu to get tired. Because the alternative is he genuinely believes he's still in this game, which that's bad. Because if your read on a game is so bad that you think you're still in it at this stage, when the game ends and you realize how far behind you are, you're gonna start questioning everything you believe, right, for the rest of the series. So like, I hope this is actually a DeMu is a sleepy boy strat because his kid's going to wake him up at 5 in the morning. Because the alternative just means that this is going to be a one-sided series the rest of the way.
Yeah. Man. DeMu almost has enough on either side to win the water with only one of his fleets.
Yeah. And wait.
Like, we're talking about that level of disparity.
Bro. Where are we going?
These vills are eating some shots if they go back, though.
So maybe his logic is he's just going to try to outpost rush land? Because China OP with build speed?
You could ram rush?
No, like, you can't. You can't ram rush.
I'm not saying you can, but you could try. Like, Like it's where
I,
he has wood and he has
I mean, you could try to
the
stick your hand in the
waxwood.
toaster, but you probably shouldn't, right? Like, I don't think land rushing works here. If
I
he's at
mean,
least Castle Age, right? Like some Trebs, maybe. Because that's kind of OP. Like, other civs can leave. You said this, like, you can build landmarks in the mainlands, right? The Ibers and the
Castle
Bastards
can't.
can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like if you get to that point and
And he's
here's the
doing it.
outpost.
But he's Castle Age. I don't know what this is meant to do.
So a bunch of free vills spawn, and they're immediately going to start getting shot. They're welcome into this world as an outpost rush. They're like, hey, wait, we're Castle Age vills. We're supposed to live. And Demu's actually going to retreat here.
He's waiting for the upgrades. He's got armored hulls coming in. He's
This is
also
such a
got the Spinal
patient
Crew.
play.
Yeah, it's kind of unnecessary at this stage, but I mean, better safe than sorry, you know?
I mean, yeah, it's
In
a big
fairness, it's not
tournament,
Demu's fault, right? I think it's like more in Cat. Like Demu right now, I can just imagine going, just
Yeah.
GG, just GG, just GG. And every time he's like, okay, I don't speak Cat. I can't translate out of human to him.
Well, at some point, do you get paranoid? Like he
What, like he's
added
got a
another
secret
scout.
strategy?
Yeah, like oh, no, not a strat. Like, do you get paranoid that he has like vills that you missed? Like, right? Like, is there a point where you just start to think, oh gosh, did he already like have go outside?
What, like
that I
walk
missed?
his villagers out to the mainlands
Like-
and then hide behind one of the tree lines?
Yeah, like there's there's two TCs in the south corner and Cat's actually on 100 vills.
I
It's
think
like,
he's just gonna do it now. Like he's got
Yeah,
Golems
yeah.
coming on land.
bring
mean-
both navies though.
He's coming now. They're just spending a little bit of time with the building, a little bit alone time. It's fine. This
Oh,
is
the
it. The
gulag.
Golems are in. It's a massacre.
GG.
Cat finally lets out a squeal that almost sounds like a meow, but is definitely a die cry.
Oh man, and the vills are just torching in the background. They're like, we're sick of this. Oh man, wow, that was a dominant game from Demu. I feel like maybe Delay Cat could fix that game. I don't even know what went wrong. Like it was just overinvestment in the arrow slits. He had like 250 stone float. Maybe he was thinking he could build a TC on the outskirts, but he started losing water maybe quicker than he anticipated. Because I could see the intention there being, I'm gonna put 5 of those on stone, get some arrow slits. Those will buy me time to defend, and then I'll add in the TC. But he was at like 200 something stone, 250, when he was like, I'm out of food because he lost water so like abruptly, right?
Yeah.
Because Demu was able to counter the arrow slits by having forward docks of his own, which gave him the regen, and that's generally enough to kind of, if you have more ships, you can kind of keep taking fights, right? And yeah, it just didn't quite pan out. I can see where Cat was going, and I feel like that makes this whole game look much worse than it really was. I think, the first 10 minutes of that really decided the outcome, and the rest was kind of the resolution here. Right? Would you
Yeah.
agree with that?
I think the big thing that mattered there was the double dock play, north and south, because the whole idea
Right.
that Aristotle's play is it's meant to deny the second pocket of food gathering. That doesn't work when your opponent does double dock like that, right? Meanwhile, you've gone out to the mainlands to make that play. The other problem of what happened there, DeMu was really quick to react to it. If you remember, he started pumping horsemen the moment that he saw the Aristettes. That's because that play by Cat is very informative to you. It tells you that he's out on the mainlands gathering stone, right? That is already a vital piece of info for Demu that he doesn't get for free normally. Because the issue when you're up against the Chinese or the GG is you don't know if they're on the mainland. So randomly gambling into a horseman play without potentially anything there just loses you the game. So like really cool little detail there by Demu and perfect read. And what is happening to the draft now? We talked about Ottomans.
Ottomans on
Khawasan?
water?
What is the idea?
I thought Ottomans. I tend to think that Ottomans are
I'm
one
so
of the
confused
worst
by
pure
this
water
pick.
civs.
Yeah, they don't have a grand old time, but I do know that Dumu likes his grand old galleys, right? I think actually he's like one of the few players I still see trying to make them work. Funnily enough, not quite often because they're a military school, just because he likes shooting things. So I don't know if that's the thought process here. But I mean, the good news at least is like HRE's been removed for his opponent. So like what, Kawasan's gonna be probably English versus Mongols? Or English
Go
versus
Jean.
OTD?
Demu's not scared of Jean playing Jean, but it's probably English on Kawasan, right?
English feels a lot stronger, a lot safer. This is a very confusing pick, though. I am very curious to see what the exact idea here is, because it's not. I haven't seen anyone practicing Archipelago Ottomans at all.
So in my testing, like Ottomans are the worst pure water civ, I think. Maybe second to bottom, right? So I think it's hard to play them on pure water maps. They have some advantages. I mean, they have a cheaper dock, right?
Yeah.
Yay.
I guess
Right?
that maybe
The fishing boats move a little faster, right? That's good.
Uh,
That's
wait, do
about
they
it.
move faster?
Yeah, trade lanes. I'm pretty sure.
You're not getting
Doesn't
confused with the Malian tech, right? The one that buffs movement speed.
not the tech. No,
Okay.
I'm like fairly certain. I need to double check.
I have
No one
cast so
plays
many.
Ottomans on pure water. No
Yeah,
one
that's why.
thinks
Like,
about this.
that's why I'm just like not outright saying you're right or wrong, because my brain's like, I've cast so many games of Age of Empires 4, and I've never noticed Ottoman fishing boats moving faster. And then my brain's gone, but you've never noticed Ottoman fishing boats.
Yeah, you never pay attention because like even on hybrid maps, they're not the best. We were
Yeah.
talking about Ottomans as if it was a weird pick for Kawasan, let alone an
Yeah.
archipelago is like way more.
But
than
like
that,
at
right?
least here he can get a Grand Galley, right? Like, I mean, you don't want to build a Grand Galley on Kawasan, right? That's the only thing I can think for him. I mean, you could theoretically. Okay, so here's a cool idea, but it's very expensive, so I don't think it works. But I'm going to throw out there anyway. You build military schools, you passively produce Sipahi, and then you transport ship over 5 of them. Right?
So
But
that would work with shipping routes. They're it's the
okay,
Ottoman innate trait. Shipping routes is movement speed of trade ships, fishing boats, and transport ships is increased.
boom, there we go. So we
And it's
just
like
need.
a pretty high number. I thought it was like 40%. It's like
Mm.
not trivial. Or is it 20? I forget. I forget the exact number.
40%
between
move speed
20
is
and
way
40.
too much. Yeah,
It's
like
but like that's what it's that big because Ottomans have really nothing else to play water with other than a slightly cheaper dock, which
okay.
like Abbasid's getting more than that, and then way more other benefits, right? So it's
So for this play to work, we just need DeMu to somehow find 400 extra resources in his build while scaling
yeah,
against a 40% better economy. Build a transport ship play for an extra 100 wood. Go onto the land and then make sure that he doesn't get counted out by a handful of spears. Simple, absolutely simple for Benny
dare
Boy.
I say proxy military school.
There we go. So transport ship play, racks on the enemy island. We'll go from there. It's going to be something weird either way because we're hopping into game number 4. DeMu
That was already
the
messing up.
Wait, what?
He's messing up because you need the space near the dock to be clear for the blacksmith.
Oh.
Because the blacksmith influence is like like that's how you get production speed on the water, right? Otherwise you don't get
That's
Yeah,
fine.
no,
This
never
is his,
mind.
this
It's
is his
okay.
fishing boat.
He's
Doc.
cooking.
It's fine.
He's
it's fine.
cooking. He's cooking.
All right.
Wait,
on the,
the
other
fishing boat
side,
dock. As
though,
opposed to okay, where's he gonna put his military docks? To the south? Way to the south, maybe?
you know what? That's future Ben's problem.
Future Ben's problem. Okay, yeah, because is there enough? Wait, there's actually enough space for a blacksmith there, right?
Not
My
now,
brain
there
always
isn't.
potatoes on space.
I'm
think that's
pretty
one
sure
tile
with
too
the
small,
lumber
right?
camp now there isn't.
Yeah,
If-
you need 4x4, right? Yeah, that's. Yep. Okay, well,
he's literally like a
so
one
that dock
tile
will
screw.
not get the influence. So that's one of the 3 advantages in feudal age that you could get.
Okay, but on the other side, we didn't even introduce Cat. He's going old school, El Clasico. This used to actually be like a top 3, maybe even actually top 2 civ for water. I actually think it's not even a top 4 now.
I think it still is. I think for pure water maps
Really?
like Archipelago and Warring Islands, like pure water, I think the economy of HRE is still just S tier, right? It just works so well.
It
The Aachen
dries up so
Chapel,
fast though.
yeah, but you put it on like a big wood line with your gold. You only need like 3 or 4 vills on gold for like the entire time. It's just so comfortable, right?
It's definitely 100% not better than Juji in China, right? So we're already striking those top 2.
I guess the fact that China's economy, there's 2 of them now, whereas
Yeah.
like Order of the Dragon didn't get doubled. Really, the economy.
But
like
Juji is
different
even
for-
better than China, right? So it's like for different
Yeah.
reasons, right? Like the tech up cost. Then you've got, I think Japan's better, actually. I
On
think
pure
the
water.
fishing boat. Yeah, I think the fishing boat cost really does like ramp up, and then the Arislets
Yeah.
helps a lot, right?
Yeah.
Who else we got? Order of the Dragon. I kind of feel like Order of the Dragon, because the problem with HRE is when you do HRE on the map like this, you're on the clock, right? You have to win really quick because once that Arkan's influence disappears, you're not a Civ anymore, right? Whereas Order of the Dragon are technically weaker in the opening, But if it goes past 15 minutes, their economy is just outright better.
Second talk already coming down for Cat, showing the prowess of HRE here. Man, I'm
Yeah.
really surprised this isn't English from DeMu. I'm honestly
confused.
shocked. I'm honestly shocked. Like,
With
I
the
know
new
we're already
play-
in this game, but like,
Yeah.
we're in some water map for a while, so we have some time to talk about this choice.
Well, especially with the new play, right? The Abbey of Kings build is really strong now. It was already good on water maps because you can use that healing for your boats, but it's even better now because the king comes out for free. So
And you can
the
just
play
transport him over. Yeah.
exactly. You transfer ship over, and even if your opponent reacts, bare minimum he has to build 2 spears, right? So he's already spent more than even if you bought the king.
Yeah. Man, this is a spicy game already. I want to be proven wrong.
So if we check the movement speed on the boats, like, do they have it by default, or is it a tech? You were saying for the Ottomans.
It's default.
Okay,
Look at
it's
that,
1.65. Yeah, okay.
Look at that. And then look at the other Civ.
It's 1.5, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not okay.
It's
that's
not
not too
40%.
bad.
My,
It's definitely
I
not
forgot
40.
the number. Yeah, I forgot
the
the number.
moment you said 40%, I was like,
I
no,
was like,
that's-
I think I wanted to make it that, and then people talked me down. they were like, talked me off the cliff edge. I was like, Ottomans are so bad on pure
you're
water.
there with the button to release the patch. You're like, I'll do it. I'll press it.
I'll do
Like,
it.
Winston, calm down.
I
We're
know.
all here for you.
I was thinking it. I was like, what? How high can we put this number? It's because it's like trade ships, fishing boats, and transport. So it's like it's not like
Yeah.
gonna break the game if they're.
I mean,
like, really
I think it
fast,
would
right?
for trade. I think it would for trade.
Yeah, but like,
You wouldn't be able to catch them.
You're still Ottomans. like, you're still Ottomans on pure water. I mean, we'll see.
Well, wait,
Maybe-
'cause you-
maybe
wait,
we're about to eat stuff. Maybe
now, hold on a
Demu's been
sec.
cooking.
Now that I'm thinking about it, if you ever do get to Imperial Age of the Ottomans, with the Seagate Castle, you can buff the movement speed of traders, right? On sea. I think it works for sea traders.
It'd be funny. It'd be very ironic if it didn't. If Seagate Castle didn't work on sea trade, that would be.
So there you go. Infinite movement
Peak
speed. No one's going to
comedy.
catch you. Well, we're step 1 on the trade route, by the way, because it is actually Sultani Trade Network coming in, but that's to be expected, right? You do not need Madrasa here at all. The gold is quite nice. It's a nice little trickle. I think it works out at, is it 72 now?
I think it's 24 per, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, or it might be lower, but I'm pretty sure it's 24 per. So
I think
it's
it used to be
72 start,
28. And
and then you can garrison a bunch more. So it kind of acts as like a mini second TC for gold. It's a bit more expensive, obviously, but you're not building. You're not building the TC, right? So it's just like kind of a free way to do
Oh.
more scaling, right?
Yeah, and I think I'm starting to see the implications down the line. Because over time, you're going to be generating these Vizier points. There aren't that many Vizier points that feel useful on a water map, right? So trade bags becomes a little bit more viable if you get deep in the game. That's...
Yeah, trade bags applies to the ones that are garrisoned. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the big negative of this is that no matter how good your map control is, you can never pop them out of this.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you win map control, the point is 24 gold per minute is not what a trader could be making, right?
Okay, hold
So
on.
it's
I'm
like-
just going to highlight you can actually pull them out, Winston. It's a bit
In trade did what?
The trade posts on the east side. So you transport
does
ship
that-
them over, you drop them,
Oh,
they'll
with
deposit.
the big change, you can do that?
Yeah. Because I remember I was casting an Anatan Puppy Ball show match, and Anatan done this brilliant thing with one Mongol trader. He done diagonal trade, but he walked it to the eastern corner and then down, right? And he still got the gold. So, like, same logic applies here, right? Like, theoretically, I don't know if that's the Gigabrain play here. It would
I
be
have no
incredible,
idea.
though. Because, like, traders move at just a little over 1 tile range, right? 1 tile a second, right? And transport ships would be, especially with that extra movement speed, like 1.65, 1.7?
You can see the move speed here. Look at that. He's zipping away from the danger because he needs to keep him alive because he's down like 10 fishing boats.
And to think, you were going to give them even more movement speed.
Yeah, that would really break it. I mean, he is down 10 eco right now. Like that's
Yes. That's
that is
HRE
alarming.
in full bloom.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like alarming for Demu's position, right? He's got a military advantage right now because he has one more Hulk.
Would it be busted if military schools could actually be placed as docks instead?
That's kind of the idea with the Grand Galley, right?
Yeah, but like you have to get castle age for that, right? That type of design fort is like back in the days when we thought it was a good idea to make everyone else wait for Hulks until castle age.
Wait,
Like,
what's
this
going on
won't
with
ruin
Demu's
balance.
milk count? Why is it? Why is it weird?
Wait, no. Wait, what? This is the Delhi bug. His fishing boats are counting as military pop.
Oh wait. Oh wait. Was it? Did he send Anatolian hills?
No.
Is it the sheep?
No. It's legit the fishing boats. The fishing boats.
I was about to say it looks like he has way more ships, right? Like it looked like he had more fishing boats.
But that's a Delhi bug. Like that's the bug that Delhi used to have because their boats attack. But the Ottoman ones don't.
He's got 43. How many does DeMu have?
He's got 14 boats with 34 eco. So he's actually ahead.
Yeah, he's actually way ahead. Okay, that was tricking me. I was like, wow, he is down 10 fishing boats. This is an alarming situation.
Be like, wow, what a noob! I can't believe this guy's playing.
I was kind of saying that, right? I was like, he is down 10 fishing boats. This is an alarming like deficit, but it kind of makes sense now. That took me a minute. I'll be honest. That took me a hot minute to figure out.
Everyone who's getting ready to judge DeMu's APM, be like, time to retire, can't even build workers. No, he's actually ahead. He's very much ahead when it comes to eco. I think he's 2 or 3 units still ahead in the working count.
He's just booming harder. He's down wheelbarrow. He also had the 3 free traders, which are contributing to that.
Yep.
Right?
And that has a beautiful knock-on effect down the line. That trader effect, it's all about the demo pump that comes in at like 15 minutes. Because if you think about the extra gold you've escalated at that stage, that's 3, 4, 5 demos extra that you have, right? And you're definitely going to need it against the HRE. With that Archon Chapel placement, I don't think that's a weak point for Cat, by the way. He did get a good placement on the wood and the gold, so he can at least keep inflating on gold gathering. That wood line, however, is getting thin. So there's limited lifespan for Cat. This is my criticism of the HRE now on water maps. You have to end the game. Like, you're actually on the clock.
You say that, but like out of nowhere, Cat just has more ships now on the sea. Like I thought DeMu had a big lead, but maybe DeMu started slacking a bit.
Boats. No, but the fishing boats.
No. I'm looking at the counter on the Hulks, right?
Oh yeah, I know. Like originally when you look at the center, like I really need to emphasize this. Because capture rate is kind of dumb. The military count for DeMu is disingenuous.
Yeah, that is not the real number.
Fishing. Yeah,
something weird happened. We'll look into that. I don't know what that is. Can we see it? Did DeMu build a blacksmith yet on the coast? I feel like nobody knows that the influence applies. I
doubt he bothered. It's just not really worth it, right?
But like, it is. It is.
I don't think it is. He hasn't got the extra economy for extra boats.
Yeah, but it's nice.
I mean, it's nice, but you have to idle the villager walking out, spend 100 wood. If you had more archer ships, it would make sense, because then you justify it by going steeled arrow as well, right? So the goal here is at some point for these guys to murder each other's faces. But you know, if you guys just want to get up for a leg stretch and walk around and then come back, don't be surprised if the game's suddenly over when someone threw 5 demos the other guy.
I think DeMu. Well, I think both players at this point could start sneaking trade ships. What? There's one on the screen. I was about to say that. I think they can start sneaking trade ships. I don't know if I'd.
No, he can go. He's got a dock further back, actually. The only thing that's an issue there is he hasn't gone for the maximum trade. So we've got extra resources starting to boom up for DeMu. Flash coming in. The arrow sets are there to be annoying. Demo's trying to just leak around off the east side of this fight. DeMu. Wait, are those fishing boats he's front lining with? Like,
no, those are.
All right, they're just that pathetic looking. The archer ships. Oh no! Dive comes in. Man the sails to get him out, but not quick enough here. Heavy hit to 3 of those sprinkles on the backside. Cat does have the numerical lead, but due to it being a defender's advantage, he's going to have to back up.
Yeah, those are big demo hits for Cat, but he is dealing with the repairs and the arrow slits on that dock. He has plenty of hooks to go for this dock kill if he wins the water. DeMu has to be careful. He backs up, trades demo for demo in the center there. The galleys on the south side going to snipe out the demos from DeMu, which is really hard to say fast. The demos from DeMu not really going to be enough. The Hulk's pushing forward. Hulk count even.
Nice little explosion.
Cat
Gets one.
Pushing
gets
through.
Another. I think DeMu's slipping a bit here. There's another wave of throw ships and explosive ships coming through. I mean, DeMu, if he can bait Cat close enough to this dock, he could get a good hit. I just think Cat is just too switched on.
That's not a demo. The demos are on the other side.
Yeah, actually, right now he's griefing himself. All the ships are in the way. And he just pushed the archer ship close to the enemy fleet. So he doesn't have a counter right now. He has to back up.
What a demo!
Return fire, though. DeMu's running out of places to run here. Military lead.
A couple trade ships. How much are those getting?
That's not that much.
That's not bad. Oh, he's not going to the south one. He's
exactly.
going to this one.
He's but also on top of that, he's not going to the dock furthest at home. Like if you check the eastern shore, he actually has another dock further back. So like it's not even optimal. I think he's
trying to set that up. Yeah, he's trying to set it up. It's a lot. It's a lot. You're doing.
Can we check his vision by the way to see?
Better.
We need to see if he actually has. No, he never scouted the southern trade post. That's pretty typical on this map.
But yeah.
I mean, you don't know for sure though, right? Like the way that it spawns is a little bit funky because you don't know exactly where the islands are. It's why the start of Archipelago is always intriguing because you have to kind of pull a fishing boat to know exactly where your opponent is, but no player wants to pull a fishing boat because then you have less economy than your opponent, right?
When we were testing this, we found it most like a really valid way to play it. We found was you sneak a transport and you just pop your scout in the transport. It gets a lot of vision to the transport, and then your scout can like quickly check each island, and it just gives you a lot of insight. So and the transport changed pretty quickly compared to the fishing boat now. So
well, the problem with that play is right now a lot of players are actually deleting their scouts. Demo, oh, big one.
But trade's coming on the north. Yeah.
DeMu, this is getting a bit
He's
shaky,
got enough.
but
he's got enough.
I mean, the archer ship count is high for Cat, but that's not going to give you push power here. The Screamers will win out. Demo around the back.
Sneak it through. The demo sneak it through. Okay, you can take him down. The demo on the back.
I think Cat has to reset.
His hooks are so low.
He's no, it's worse than that. He's dead. Check his economy at home. Look at what he's doing. He's no longer Arcane buffed. He's not a real HRE boy anymore.
I don't know if he's dead though. You can just put.
Wow! You trade online.
He's got 5 prelates for this. He's ready.
So what you're telling me is he's got 5 like he's got 5 less woodworkers. Why do you
complain about my Aachen when I have a Hawken right here? This is the Aachen at home.
No. I mean, it's actually just missing the Chen part of the word. It's simply you going in doubt. It's pretty bad. I'm a bit worried. Yeah, because Cat's teeth are about to get knocked out. This is pretty hard to keep up with.
He's gonna catch the trade.
Yeah, but it's like free traders, right?
Yeah, but they're still caught.
Yeah, but if you do that, DeMu just goes into your economy now, right?
Maybe. Ships are slow. If he's not... Oh! Wait.
He's a demo.
Okay, he's not going to use his demos on it.
So this is where DeMu... He's going to move the fleet. Look at the map right now. He's heading in. Like, this is the mistake of Cat. It takes him longer to reach the real economy than it takes DeMu.
And shipping routes. It's about to come into play. His fishing boats can escape. You're laughing, but I'm serious. His ships are slightly faster.
Meanwhile, Cat's about to be very poor in this game. Food income is about to sink down hard. Fishing boats just try to retreat to the south. I mean, if he's quick, he actually could catch the land eco as well.
There's no big wood line here anymore. I think
no, but there is
if you're DeMu, right? I don't think
it's idle time though. It's still worth it, right? Like, you can back up now and kind of be content with this. Can we do a real-time check of DeMu's actual eco count as the game lies to us? I think DeMu is ahead. Yeah. By quite a bit. So he's at like, what, 70? I don't think he has added more trades. He's still got 1 or 2 left. They're still trading right now.
I mean, he has got 2 trading locations, right? He's got the water and the land. I was just wondering if he added more into the...
Oh, DeMu. This is scary. He's cut off from home. Demos.
Or is it scary for...
I know, it's scary for DeMu. He's running into the demos!
Oh my god. That's a huge hit.
Return fire coming in.
He lost his whole navy.
DeMu's dead. He's going to lose everything here. What a
turn!
What
a chaotic fight.
Oh my god, the timing on that Cat. He even pivoted right side to catch him on the retreat. It looked like this was going to be a DeMu favored game, but that strike right there resets him. Cat now out of position with his own Springords, but DeMu lacks the demo count to now punish that.
Whoa, those demos came out of nowhere for us.
I'm
they
speechless.
Snuck in. And huge loss on the fleet side, and now that's going to give Cat any advantage he wants. He could remax on the sea, which would be smart, or he could like angle for a castle age potentially.
Castle
The
doesn't
wood
immediately get you
line.
much though, right?
Relics, I guess.
One
But yeah,
relic,
it's
yeah. It's like the rest are harder to reach
yeah.
because the moment you tech up, your opponent has to push you, right? Instead, look at what DeMu's doing. He's actually the one going for Castle Age.
Yeah, I think he's thinking it's his only hope. A couple Grand Galleys, they can deal decent damage if they're protected, but they take a lot of damage in return and they're very expensive. So you can't really like have them with no navy. They're best if you had a large navy, but he just traded out everything and
I mean,
Cat's remaxing and he's going to be coming in for the kill soon.
yeah, I'm impressed. I legit thought DeMu was just pulling ahead at that stage. I mean, it looked like Cat had dropped the ball, but that maneuver back in just in time flipped it all. And now all of a sudden, we have DeMu prepping for Castle Age. He's even gone for the Imam point here, by the way, so he's definitely committed to this. Demo's coming around the back. If he goes after the eco right now, I don't think he knows, though. No, instead it's going to be detonation on the fish.
Gotta watch his fleet because, oh wow, almost double the ships in the center here. Don't be the top bar there is lying to you. It is counting Demu's fishing boats as military here.
Yeah.
So Cat
Which
has
makes this
a massive
chaos.
military advantage.
Yeah,
Look
it
at
makes
the
it
size of
absolute
that
chaos to
fleet.
keep track of. Now, if he doesn't take out the docks, demos are still a problem, and DeMu did just queue up 3 more. But the demos from Cat, it's an overwhelm again!
No arrow ships. No arrow ships at all from it. Oh, they just spawned just a little too late.
Return fire comes out, but it's going to reset Cat. I don't think he cares, though. Damage once again done. It's now 3 times the spring wolf to that of which Ben has. Whew. How is he doing this, man? I can't believe this. Like, we're past the window of HRE strong, right? Like, we're deep into the Arkin doesn't really matter anymore territory. But yet still. Ben. Refusing to give up, though. He always has the demo pullback play. But so far, Cat has been better with these demos time and time again. A little bit of a weird conga line in. Boats randomly coming out and just getting sunk straight away, but I think that's kind of maybe baiting Cat, because if he sees there's an archer ship, he comes a bit closer, and then demos like that get free hits.
Yeah,
Wait, villagers are fishing. What?
Wait, what is happening to Cat's fleet?
Oh my god, they're all low. Like, check the health bars right now.
He just sat under these demos for way too long. He sat under these docks, and Demo lives to play another day. Like, and the wood line for Cat just ran out. Yeah, look at this migration. Where's Ezekiel?
So we need to talk about the issue. We need to talk about the issue of Cat. I highlighted at the start of the series. You're seeing it right now. This is a person who doesn't know when they've won. Right?
Look at this migration.
No, but listen. This is really important right now. Cat was meant to tech up before that fight. He added more springles. He had an overwhelming advantage. And instead of just taking the age up into armored hulls that allows you to dive under those demo ships and not care that much, he chose to double down on a feudal age, knowing that his lifespan is running out. Like, this is what I mean about Cat being a really good player, but sometimes just not sensing when the game is over or the final move to make to end the game.
So something I'm going to highlight here is wood. I've played this map a lot, and I really like Archipelago. I like playing Archipelago. Call me crazy, but what matters, and I like it at this stage and on primarily, right? I think this is when the game starts to get really spicy. I think you got to start looking at other islands now. You got to find a new home. If you run out of wood and you start getting camped, you lose, right? You need to have another island with eco growth on it, another TC or something. Like, you need to get 16 villas off to a wood island ASAP. And both players aren't doing that right now, and I worry for Demo here because he has less wood on his starting island and he's about to run out.
So you're saying map spawn difference?
I mean, it's relevant here, but it's also how you have to play Archipelago, right? The demos are going to cancel on the left.
Oh, he gets one big one in there, though. Return fire coming in. DeMu kind of just standing his ground for the most here. Archer ship will clear up the second. And the lead just doesn't really exist anymore, though. Like, there's a lot of Archer ships, but the Spion count.
This is just a wave of demos. Oh my gosh, 5 demos. They're coming in. Cat's on the retreat. The counter demos are there, but
is it
going to be enough? And we have almost a full reset on the water.
I mean, you say that
down to numbers from 8 minutes.
So Cat has got 13 sprinkles, right? He's actually double digits. This is what I mean. Like, these are the type of moments where you go, okay, just poke the economy and tech up, right? Like, this is the moment. But instead, I already know what he's going to do
committed.
because he's
He's
done it for the
committed.
last 23 minutes. Yeah.
Committed. Has DeMu had the traders going this whole time, by the way, or did they all die?
I think all but maybe 2 died.
I mean, it's wood.
You're really believing in that guy
Can
a
we look
bit
at
too
the
much.
trees? Can we look at the trees for DeMu?
He's got that little
Does he have enough
tree
wood for a
line
transport?
on the left.
Did he train
right?
to transport? That's not a wood line. What do you mean? that is like 4 boats.
That's like the guy who says, "I still have hair in his comb over," right? It's like that's not a hairline. Oh god.
You're bald.
I just like how for clarity, you just you're that guy after the joke's like, ha 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 ha, bald man.
Well, I don't know. That was the joke, right? That was what your bit was. I'm just highlighting that it's funny. I don't know.
Archership count is down for Cat. He had like 7 before, but the idle time, well, DeMu, these demos aren't moving.
If they were, that fleet could have gone cooked. Look at that. That fleet is cooked. Look at. Can we look at the HPs of Cat's fleet right now?
He'd rob you.
That is some low. Everybody is hurt there. Which means I actually think DeMu has more HP here.
Demo.
He's pushing in. The demos sneaking through. That's a lot of demos.
He
That
likes
is a lot
formations.
of
though.
demos.
He doesn't even care. There's not enough archer ships here. Goes in. This could hit the fishing as well. Deeper and deeper we go. He needs more. He needs a lot more. There it is.
Yikes. That's a Zord scoop.
Is it enough though?
Oh my gosh.
I don't think it's enough. It looked like he was going to catch the fishing, but I think Cat pulled a few fishing boats back right at the very end there to minimize the hit. And DeMu, oh my
to build a
god.
transport, and they both need a transport and to go to other islands. They have to. They just have to focus on this.
Do we have to?
One.
Yeah, but like, should we be? I feel like we should. I want to praise DeMu for the fact that with the
He's still in
A-tier
the
economy, yeah, like the A-tier economy's been buffing. Like, here's a thought for you, right? You highlight he's running out of wood. Cat is going to run out of wood before him, and he had more wood to begin with. Yet somehow DeMu isn't dead in this game.
Well, if you look at the destroyed value, you can kind of get a glimpse of how that might be the case.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure how that lines up because it looked like Cat had more wood on his map. But I guess DeMu has savings on the dock and stuff. Like,
True.
maybe that. He didn't build the blacksmith on the coast. That's just like. He put the imams.
Yeah, the imams have just been chilling there. They were waiting for Castlade a while ago. It's finally coming.
Chilling. Oh my gosh, MIA coming in with a blacksmith next to it because you need that siege. I guess Springolds could help. You could transport them to the middle island.
Yeah.
If
The
one of these
issue's
players
getting
ever builds a
Springles
transport.
because Cat is coming in for a big blow. 13
Yeah.
demos.
I think DeMu has to hope that the fight doesn't go so bad that he's just dead.
He's going to
And-
lose the docks. I'm certain of this. It has to happen. Like, there's way too many demos here, surely.
Yeah, but how many times have we seen a fight right in this concave that DeMu is just won?
Have to see.
The upgrades
Demo's
should be
coming out.
coming in potentially.
Detonation good.
The demos are just waiting in the pack. Oh my gosh, Cat has a huge fleet of demos. They're coming forward.
Yeah, but wait, they're just A-clicking into one target here. Archer ship's clearing up a lot of them, but a few are
There's
going to leak
enough.
through.
There's enough.
That's it.
Oh
They're
my
gone.
gosh.
Everything is gone.
Everything dies. Wow. That was destruction.
DeMu is not waving the white flag.
He believes in the Ottomans. A grand galley in queue.
Oh, for
It's
God's
his
sake.
solution. He said, you know what? These demos weren't killing me quick enough. I'm going to make a unit that dies even harder to demos. And it's the Grand Galley.
Instead of Springles. Like,
More
okay,
siege, though.
wait, but he's built the siege workshops on the coastline.
Which is gonna instantly die,
yeah, that's a big no-no.
I mean, if he gets a couple Springles out, he actually can defend the coast. The Grand
Castle
Galley gonna
Age
pop out and
is-
instantly die. This is he has to
Yeah.
cancel this. This is such an expensive boat. You can't just train this. No.
All right, well, Grand
Not the
Galley's about
baby.
Optimus Prime the whole world. Here we go.
No. No. He had so much to live for.
Wait, will Cat save him? Will Cat? No, no. It's Ta-da! Behold, the grandest of
Wait.
fleets!
He's not looking.
Somehow not looking doesn't matter.
DeMu is really reluctant to tap here, but he didn't capture another island, so how many Springolds can he realistically afford before he's out of wood?
I think he's like got maybe 1,000 more wood left on that island. Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's got stragglers. And then we start gathering the stone to sell.
Yeah, but with no
Desperate times.
docks. Ah, see, this is what I mean. If he had snuck, 16 vills to another island, this would have felt really different. I'm just saying.
I mean, like, there are many things that could have made this game feel
Really
different. Yeah,
Where
like this has been a very unorthodox game of
Cat
archipelago.
has
This is
50 idle vills. Cat has 50 idle vills. Okay, he's moving them. Where are
but
they?
this has been overall. He's
Oh,
on the
on the
Central
middle.
Island. Yeah.
On the middle,
This has
yeah.
overall been a very unorthodox series. I think it's fair to say. Like at this point, my brain is kind of what like I'm just like, is DeMu simply just dragging this out because Cat done it to him last game, or is there actually a plan coming together here?
I mean, the siege on the coast is going to defend really well. And that's one of the benefits of the Grand Galley is that it's extreme range. So
Yeah.
against everything that Cat has, this bad boy outranges it. Yeah, you could. He doesn't have any military schools, so you could just click the button. It's free. It's free real estate. Some free units.
Get a few knights together, drop them. You'd have to get the vizier points.
I mean, what else has he spent the vizier points on? He's probably sitting on one that he can't spend. But the docks get to go up because of the siege defense. The biggest thing for DeMu now is wood. He just has no wood. 2,000 in the bank, and then what?
I mean, at this point, you'd expect him to sneak the east side island, right? Just go right inlands away
You have
from
to
the
sneak.
shores.
You have to build a transport, but he just doesn't. Even the Grand Galley works as a transport once you upgrade it, right? Can't you garrison back into it? I think you can. That ship is
I'm
having a
not
good time.
sure if you can garrison back into. Yeah,
There's
good
the
time.
transport.
I took it another way. I was like, that's me when I'm on a London subway train. Just can't move. People just claustrophobic.
And we have the
wiggle around.
transports, so the
Oh,
mass
he's about to get
exodus is
claustrophobic.
here for DeMu.
Wait, is he gonna go Central Island though? Because that would.
No way.
mean,
he's
he'd
got
just
a
be
he's got a
dead.
transport on the right.
Yeah, okay, so
So-
he's making the right move. And look at this. He's got a nice little path inland. I think he can even drop a lumber camp further
In
right
the back.
behind
yeah.
the tree lines. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, there's a little spot right there in the overhang. So that should hide him. It's very unlikely this gets noticed, especially if, for example, he just deletes the transport ship afterwards.
So this is his grand idea here is the Grand Galley spam. So
This
we're
is
gonna be up to
wild.
4. I mean, why isn't he clicking the free button to upgrade them? Like, why not?
Is there a downside? Does it, like,
No.
there isn't any downside, right?
The downside is that you have a max number of military schools in the game. So if you have military schools
Yeah.
on the land, you're kind of competing with that cap, right? But he's not building any. Like, just upgrade him. You get a couple spearmen, you could do something with them eventually, right? I guess they consume pop if, like, you're not going to use the units, which can be annoying, maybe. Maybe that's the downside.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, like, demos do counter Grand Galleys now, right? Because the wording got changed. It used to be broadside, but now
He
it's,
gets a big ship or whatever.
yeah, now it's big ships or large ships or whatever.
Large ships.
So
yeah.
that should
Big
counter
boat.
now. L's back, by the way, on the way.
Where is that? On the
What?
central island?
That must be center, right?
Yeah, we don't see it anywhere
Definitely.
else.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Do you really? I mean, I guess you don't have any need for the alternative, right? You're up 126 eco.
It could be nice to sneak it onto, like, the South Island, for example, if you're Cat, but not really needing it in this case.
Oh,
And you have got to keep these Grand Galleys alive.
That's not a good start.
Let's see that demo damage. Yeah.
I love
Keep in mind-
that the last second hesitation from the driver's like, I don't want to die. Okay. So one down.
Like, these are very expensive ships
Yeah.
that need a front line. They are
Where are the
currently
Springolds?
frontlining.
Where are the Springolds?
Why isn't he retreated to the coast?
Oh my god, they're
Siege
just
just
out
isn't
range.
there. Are they? Oh, man. And
think-
Cat has to retreat.
Yeah, I don't know if that's because DeMu thought he'd just lose them in the retreat anyway because they're so slow, but I feel like they were so close to the shoreline at that point, it's worth the step back. Would have probably kept an extra one of the Grand Galleys alive at least, but now we have a big problem. Cat, he's queued up the Carracks, he's got shipwrights on the way, which gives another boost to the HP of all your combat vessels. This is where I think DeMu's plan may fall a bit short of expectations.
Maybe.
Oh my god, you're holding on to the Grand Galleys.
I'm
aren't you?
holding on to the Grand Galley. If he upgraded them, and he would think about it like this: he would have just 10 units. He could just, if he gets them to the enemy island, that's just 10 spot heat.
Yeah.
All he has to do is click the button. You know what I mean? I guess it's just a lot of overhead. There's a lot going on. Microing on these maps is one thing, but like you also have to manage a lot of the pocket economies, which can feel overwhelming at times. So I definitely empathize with the position of both players that this is like a hard situation to play, but you know, it's fun to lean into the mechanics. Wow, even a Stonewall there to keep him safe.
Yeah, I think now Cat might notice him at some point. We
Oh,
actually
wait.
that's kind of cool.
Did we
DeMu
check
has
the relics?
2 tree lines he's cutting there, by the way. The relic situation, I think there's only 1 left to be grabbed. Yeah, on this.
Can we
island
check
over here.
where they are for Cat? Because I
They are
think
not
one
in
was in a
docks, I know
dock.
what
No,
you
there
want.
was one. One's in the Regnitz.
One's in the Elsback, right? One's the Regnitz,
No.
one's Elsback.
He put it in the
one's
dock next to the Reg. Oh,
Yeah.
he put it in the
Yeah,
dock.
like I said, yeah, there's an Els.
Okay.
Dude, you got an Elsback. I don't care about 5% tax. You put it in the
You put it in
Elsback.
the Elsback. Yeah, yeah. That is a lot of Aerosliths being queued up. And Aerosliths don't really scale well at this stage of the game. Like, the docks HP is kind of becoming a limiting factor in how many you can have.
Oh, God.
We have the Siege. Wait, what's in that transport? Is that just Siege? Or Vils? That might be Vils.
I think it's just there for a good time.
The demos
Someone
are
that
coming
Demu's not
in.
going to have. Demo reaches in.
Well-
That's a big sinker. I mean, you say
Eric
well.
goes down.
2 Grand Galleys left.
If there's no Carricks left.
I mean, the scrolls of the cannon should be enough
The
to clear
demos.
up, but the demo, again? How is he not dead?
This one, can we just talk about the bottom of the sea right here has got to, at some point, it's not going to be a seabed. It's just going to
What?
be, at some point, it's not going to be a seabed. It's just going to be a graveyard of ships all the way. And it's
Oh,
gonna
no,
be
no,
a
no.
ship
It's
island.
not going to be a graveyard. It's going to be a wooden dam, and it's going to
Yeah,
look
exactly.
like Beavis
It's a
made it.
wooden
Yeah.
dam right here. How many fleets have died right here? Oh, the demos are coming in, though. Wait,
Who
he's split.
cares? He's got his
He's
key
split.
drop. He's
But what
on the
does this-
mainlands.
But what does this do?
I mean, you just drop Raxas now, right? And build men at arms.
But to do what?
Kill anything that was left behind.
I think you build rams because there's only thing there is buildings, right? Like there's no units on this island anymore.
The crazy
Like-
part to me is like, surely Cat could just win this game if he went Sacred Sites. Like the only reason DeMu isn't dying there is because he keeps falling back to the Springolds, right? Like that's the part that's perplexing to me. It's like I think Cat. We talked about this whole idea of like he does play really well. He does do a great job in these games, but sometimes you reach this point of like, okay, now how do you really end the game? It's like he's taking the much harder route here.
Well, the Carricks are in business now. He's got 4 up, 5 up actually. That's a lot of Carricks with 3 more in queue. Once he has 8, he can just steamroll the docks, right? It's the game ender on water. They insta kill the docks essentially.
Yeah, but what was
Just-
Springles?
I mean, they also honestly you see tier 4 ships kill Castle Age Springolds pretty easily, right?
If you can
You
reach them,
need-
right? Like that's the challenge.
Well, without the upgrade, the range isn't that much more, and the Springolds are less
It's
mobile.
8 versus 10, right? Ooh, nice massacre on the village line as well. Yeah, 8,
Yeah,
8 range on Carricks and then 10 on Springles.
But the Carricks are more mobile. They're much
Yeah.
faster. Even they look slower because they're big, but don't be deceived. They have pretty high move speeds. That Mangonel is vibing, bro.
He's got nothing else to do. Like that's the equivalent of, you know, when you watch like a StarCraft player and they got like 300 APM, they're cycling through. It's like they just need to be ready for the moment. That's what it is.
Look
Right?
at
When
the
they have to load
resources for
rocks,
Cat.
they're gonna be much quicker.
Is he building a wonder?
No, I hope he's building a route to success here. Is what I've been hoping for. I mean,
mean,
this is an
amazing.
overwhelming Navy lead to still have not ended the game with. We've even got burning arrows to the archer ships coming in now.
Yeah, I feel like he's seeing the projectiles from the coast and over.
Oh,
Okay,
he
now
moves
we
in.
just commit. We just commit. Kill the siege.
DeMu has to back up, but wait, if
And
you back
all
up,
the
what about the
siege is
villages?
All the siege is dead.
That has to be surely it. I know I've called it a few times in this game because it really should have been over a few times, but that has to be decided. No, what the?
The landmark
My
victory
island-
can't be there because
No,
the
because
L's
L's back.
which
But
would be
DeMu-
relevant.
DeMu's just like, my island isn't safe, yours looks safe.
I mean, but there's no resources. I don't
There's
know how much
relics?
Cat needs to care.
I
There's
don't
one
know.
relic and all of his docks, I guess.
I'm just. I
And
really
houses
would
are
just
annoying.
love to have paused the game at this stage and went for a mid-series interview of both. So, yeah, how do you think you're going to win the game right now?
Well,
And
like
you
the
just get that
chess
point.
confessional.
Yeah, then you get that point. Yeah. But when you get that moment where Doom is like, I think I can landmark snipe him. And then you, like.
We gotta... Dude, yo, we can't look at this. Children, cover your eyes. Okay. we're good.
They're just touching tips, chill. But
Oh,
wait,
man.
can I think the Carracks can reach all 3 landmarks, right? Like close
Not...
to.
No, they can't
Maybe the
reach.
Mehmeds?
Maybe
Wait,
they can reach
DeMu
the
is building the
Mehmeds.
Seagate Castle in cat space right now.
That makes it easier for him to lose, I feel like. Well, maybe not.
Wait, no, because now he can get great bombards. All of a sudden, he doesn't care about Carracks. Oh my god, this series.
Oh, what's this outpost? Does DeMu notice? Because if he gets kicked off of this area, he's dead. He has nothing left.
I mean, he's got the second tree line as well, right? Let's calm down. He has to be kicked off of both of those tree lines.
Oh, sorry, I had a bit of a sneeze there. And he notices, but there's
Yeah.
still an outpost. Oh, no.
I mean, you're not stopping
He
this
can't
guy
really
up,
afford
right?
these vills. He doesn't have growth on this island. And he has no way to transport his vills there. DeMu needs to look at this a bit more.
No, it's fine.
this is
He just
killing
needs
me.
food and gold now. It's fine. I don't know where he's going to get food, but he just needs food and gold now. It's fine.
He did a farm on Cat's Island.
Wait, he's got
He
shot
needs to
triggers
get
all the
out
way.
of here. He
Alright.
needs to get out of here.
Hear me out. There are not
I
many
guess he just sacked
civs.
these vills.
Yeah, it's like they're not getting out. So
Well,
hear me
they could
out.
have stuck around the right.
They-
To the other.
No, don't care about them. They don't,
Oh, wait.
don't even know their names.
Is the Seagate Castle in range of the Carracks and
No.
unable to defend itself?
No. And like you can just get the Great Bombard, right? Yeah.
I guess one Great Bombard.
Okay,
Oh, wait.
so
The
hear me out.
counter
There are
landing?
not
The
many
counter landing.
civs in Age of Empires 4 that could win this with no resources. I want you to process the fact that DeMu is playing
Auto.
one of the ones that can.
It's hard. You know what would really... I don't know. He invests a lot of wood into these rams, and he needs wood for siege, but he has no wood. And he's never
You-
going to get another dock up.
Did you not
right?
see all the straggler trees that he claimed on Cat's side?
Were there many?
I think there was like 8
Oh
left.
no! DeMu! Oh, he has Springles here, so he's
Okay.
good. Okay. Oh, and then they'll get sniped.
All of a sudden, Cat only has 90 eco, by the way. Like, he's actually burning quite a lot of... Oh my god, he's... They're trading places!
Oh, is this TLC show now?
This-
like,
this
this
is-
is crazy.
Yeah, this is wife swap with Archipelago.
Pay attention to Cat's pop space. It might go down pretty rapidly here with all the houses now being the targets. Unless Cat just already instinctively built a bunch of houses in the middle, maybe?
I have...
Wolverines deal
admittedly-
with the siege defending this area. That's smart.
So admittedly, we don't have like many archipelagos in competitive, but I can say without a doubt in my mind that this is the most clowny game of archipelago I have ever witnessed in the history of this game.
Can I tell you, my confession is that I love this map. I think it's so much fun. I think it's so entertaining sometimes. So I think, debatably, the first, like, the feudal age, I would agree, is kind of stale a lot of the time. But I think after that, once you get to this kind of crazy stage where you need these islands and you have economies everywhere, I think it's actually really fun to play, in my opinion. When it's not just one sea battle at a time.
Yeah, but the problem is like 90% of the games are
That
just
is
one
the
sea
game.
battle that decides
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mango Springles. He has got the shot
Well, the
trigger now.
Vills
Uh,
don't really matter that they're dying, but...
Yeah, I mean, dude, both of them don't care about economy anymore. Like, have you noticed that number is just going down? It's never going up.
When you need
Carracks are
Vill,
actually losing this fight, by the way. Like, he split the fleet
well,
up
they're
way
not
too much.
shooting. They're also not shooting the siege. They could one-shot the siege. But he's focusing the Vills, seeing the juiciness of it. Oh my
And
god.
now we've got siege workshops coming.
This game is getting
Oh,
messy.
this-
He tried to
this is
snipe
getting
the
wild.
relic and he couldn't quite grab it from the Regnits.
Okay,
That's
but
a monastery. That's a lot of wood.
dude, I love how
Blacksmith
Cat's like, yes, siege very good. He's building conference now. Is that in his little Normandy invasion in the Ottoman heartlands, right?
Can we look at the eco?
It is.
What happened to Cat's like?
That's
bank?
what I'm saying.
Remember
The
when I said
numbers
he
have
had
been
a
going
wonder?
down.
I
Like,
said he was going to
everything's
build a
been going
wonder.
Yeah, but that was when he had over 100 villages, so he could actually keep looking like he's going to have a wonder. Now he's losing Carracks, building siege, and has lost over half of what he had.
And his middle island only has wood.
Yep. So one player has only wood. The other
has free siege.
Yeah, the other has free everything. He has military schools on the enemy island, remember?
Oh, this boat is
Wait,
about to have a
what?
bad time.
Wait, no, DeMu's just sending it.
It's the move speed, shipping routes. It's coming into play.
He's like, you
He's gonna
can't
make
seek
it.
me quick enough.
There's
Bye,
those
have
are,
a good time.
those are
Nah, he's fine. He's out of
those
here.
are cannon emplacements though.
There isn't a cannon in the place.
that's one of his own.
Chill. That's DeMu's.
That's huge. That's actually huge for DeMu that he gets another 16 vills onto wood.
So
This
now
is
both
massive.
players have wood, but one
Has free siege. Well, they have to try. Neither of them know about the gold. Because did you notice? I think that is that sacred site in gold and relic walled in by the trees fully.
on the primary.
On the left side?
Yeah, on
Is
the
it
right
walled
island.
in fully?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
It's fully walled in, and the left side is like.
So there's kind of a little surprise in there if you get there first.
But the interesting part to me is like Cat never even went looking for the sacred sites, right? Because he never capped the south one. Like I do kind of come back to that in that maybe this could have been over for him with a win if he'd just done that. Because DeMu had no way of island hopping that many times, right? Like there was too much navy. It's too risky. But
Oh my gosh.
in the end, he only really needed island hop once and then one on the side to do this.
Siege works now coming in.
So if DeMu was to scale, like if
Oh, the MIA is dead.
Yeah. So the MIA is MIA, right? Like, I think if he can find a bit of gold though, because what I'm thinking here is if you can get just a handful of great bombards, you can just do a Normandy on the south side of the center island eventually, and that's how you kill the elves back, right?
How? How is he the first one here? How is he the first one here?
Has
I
Cat even
can't.
scouted this island? I
Yes,
don't
because
even...
he took the relic. He was trading. He's currently trading.
Oh, well then, yeah. I mean, like he got everything he wanted out of it. Like you don't land on islands. You never know what you're gonna find on those islands, Winston. You hear about the island in like Southeast Asia where you go nearby and the natives first visit you? Dangerous, dangerous.
The way that this has been getting played, though, I think Demu's got this. If he can keep his Seagate alive, which is currently my biggest #1 question.
I don't recall the last time at 45 minutes someone looked at a person with 0 food income and was able to say, I think he's got this, without smirking.
I think he does. I think he does. Like, the main advantage from Cat right now is that he's controlling the middle. And he's found a Treb. Is he blindly attack? Because that doesn't have... He's blindly attacking. I was like, he has no idea this is there. And he's actually... I think he's correctly guessed the position.
So
Can
we're
we see that
playing...
next shot? That's incredible. That is... That's one of the cannons.
Well, he got shot by it before, right? So I think he must have seen it in some way or form. More villages being pulled.
It's shooting his... Oh,
Wait, Dimu, no, dude. This is ambitious. Just get inland. Okay, it's not worth it.
If Cat had upgraded that outpost, by the way, a lot of the villas would be dead at this point, but he just wasn't able to afford it, I guess. No stone for Cat. 0 stone.
This game is so messy. And
I
there
love
it
it.
is.
And he's in.
Sacred
He's
site
into the middle.
revealed.
He's in.
Do we just drop a monastery now?
If he
I mean,
finds that gold, that's so good for Demu. Wait, what just...
what?
How many demos just hit it? Did you hear the series of
I
explosions
heard it.
that I just
I
heard? That
I
was
heard
like
it.
10 explosions. It was like two.
So Cat had like
4, 5, 6.
I
That was
think-
7 demos.
Yeah, Cat had like 12 demos before he's down to 4.
I think
he's-
it's 7 just hit that transport, and they don't have bonus. He finds the relic and the sacred site, and does he find the gold? Because I think the gold transforms his game slate, right? It means he could fight back on the siege here.
It's true.
He's gonna see it.
Oh, he sees it. This is big. Remember, Cat has no way of seeing in here right now. He's still blind punting with a trebuchet at this point. Now, the question is,
So
do you
weird.
do you actually capture the sacred site or do you not? Do you fake it? Because if you capture that sacred site, you will reveal yourself there.
I mean, like, do you care? I think you capture it. I don't think you care. I think it's harder to get there than it is to know it's there. Right? Wait, what? Okay. I was like, what is happening?
No?
My brain is like kind of breaking down a bit.
Just
We are 50 minutes
deep
into
breaths with your
archipelago.
noggin right now. Just
Wait, is this? Can we check the positioning of this? Where is the shooting? Is it the same spot?
I think it's hitting the same spot because he just doesn't know if something's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, he just doesn't know what's here. That's crazy that he hit a cannon outpost. The repairs are trying to come in, but DeMu is now farming on this island. And the biggest threat to his economy is that a bombard can come kill the farms.
I mean, the wild part is whatever happened to the sprinkles on that island. I feel like
making horsemen.
yeah, he started killing them a while ago. I believe he's making them on the right side island.
Just canceled 11. Queued up 5 more. Okay.
So if you check the right side island, I think he's got stables back in that corner. Okay, maybe not. Wait,
Is
where
this
is he
from
building
middle?
them then?
Is
Yeah,
this
it must be middle.
maybe? And he'll transport?
There it
Yeah.
is, with very, very limited space. I just love, like, you can kind of see the quippiness of DeMu in this, right? Like, he takes out all the houses on the mainland, and now all of a sudden, all the extra room that Cat gets that he wants to put into production, it has to go into building more houses.
Killed the Treb. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like the only interesting thing that's happened. in
Don't be sorry. No, like no one's sorry when a Treb dies.
And he did capture the sacred site, which reveals the ram and means the ram will now die.
Well, we've got Raxus coming in from DeMu, who has 180 food income a minute. Just let that soak in for a bit.
That's a lot of food, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the 5 farms.
Compared to what he had before, that's infinitely more food than what he had a few minutes ago when he was at 0 food income.
Wait, he has docks down here? How does it... Where did he just transport to? What is... This
Wait,
is crazy.
these aren't
Wait,
ranked
fight
out,
in the middle.
what's
The
going on?
horsemen are in. I say middle. That's huge.
You
That
need
is
to get
massive.
ships out right now, right? Like, surely the villagers
You
have to
gotta
fight back.
You have cannon emplacements, which will
He's
help a
got
lot.
Dark Age Spearmen.
Yeah, but
No.
cannon emplacements, spearmen, the Springle chipping in and doing his part. Everybody's got to line up for this
but
fight.
This is wave 1. He needs to wall himself in right now.
He can though, right?
Yeah,
You
he
just
just
gotta
needs to-
hope the Carrick. You gotta wall Barba back enough.
Looks like his character has been discovered. Doc's getting knocked out there. What is this game?
No demos in this case.
I was like, hey, there'll be enough time for me to go like play a few games tonight after this stream. I think we're gonna have like, I think I said at the start of the day, I was like, I think this will be like a quick day, maybe some free ones, probably free O's.
Yeah, but I love.
We're still in series number 1 here.
But I love this. Like you guys think I'm in pain, but this is where I don't know.
Dude, you're that person that
This
like
is where I
sees-
shine.
you see a pit of slime and then you just like lean into it and just like let
I
it
need water.
consume you.
Unironically, this is so much of a water map that I'm thirsty now. With some agua. Oh, those vills are just gonna eat it.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
these
a
villagers
trap
are
would be
hungry
good for
right
demo? Or sorry, demo? Man, demos and
it's
demo
in your
are
mind. There's
just...
been so many. This
I just
game.
can't do it anymore, man. I'm completely trapped.
No, he's not going traps. He's genuinely just going spears. I mean, he could just capture both sacred sites, right? Like, I thought that was what he's going to try to do. But it seems the carrots came down before that could just about happen.
Oh, the siege is pushing forward. The farming economy. The knights are
The knights?
going in
What?
to torch the Carrick, which they
Yeah.
will win this fight.
Well, Cat isn't, like, well, Cat can win the fight. He just has to move away, right?
Yeah, but like, that's a lot right now because currently his bombard is hitting a farm, and that's relevant.
Yeah, which is very, like, micro-intensive action. Hit that.
Wait,
that
could the
building.
Vills charge the siege? There's no ships or anything defending it. The Vills could charge the siege on the north. Sorry, I mean on the very north.
Oh, you mean on the main base? In Dimu's base? I mean,
like-
technically, but
like, just
he needs
don't
food.
kill him. He needs to. He's losing houses, which is.
I'm
wood.
pretty sure if he charged with that many villagers, they would die.
Wait, I think he beat the Carricks, and is now defending his island.
We have a great bombard being queued. It's happening.
Oh my gosh, that will defend this zone pretty nicely, right?
I just want to remind people how close this game is,
The
despite what
trainers
you
are
might
out.
think. Like, right now, both players only
they
have
go?
one landmark left.
I mean, it does put an extra zest on this game. The fact that we could have a landmark snipe. Just the Elsbach is impossible to kill. Especially with a relic, you can't get close enough to it, right?
And the Seagate Castle, well, I mean, it's
All the
got
traders are
C in
idle.
the name.
What is happening?
Wait, what? Did he select all? He's dragged everything on the map to the south side.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
For reasons I can't explain.
DeMu can't go onto his own, like, sacred site. He's not realizing, I think, that that's the issue. Okay, now he does. He's like, I will hide. In the woods, we hide, man. They're like,
fly, tree people, fly.
oh, he's landing this island.
Horsemen
But there are
find the
knights
hit.
here.
Yeah, but not many, because he threw a lot of them at the Carracks, right? So he's
And now the
like,
Carracks can defend this, I believe.
and remember, these are just Castle Age Knights. He doesn't, well, didn't have the gold to upgrade them. At this point, I feel like they'd be worth upgrading, considering that is his plan constantly.
He's taking out
Cinnamon.
more of the area. Bombards. He just evacuated. The one bombard was enough. Which sucks because you want the MIA pumping this game, right? Which is why I kind of wanted DeMu to charge that. What? This market's just for exchange. It's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Did the bombard die to the culverin?
No, he wheeled it all the way back, right? Yeah, he's still got it live. Right there. Look. This big boy's ready to go. Apparently he wants to take out the outpost more than he wants to take out Culverin. Intriguing. Keep in mind, like, at this stage, anyone losing Siege, it's genuinely like...
That?
I think it was
That had
empty.
15 things.
Wait, really?
That had 15.
15 horsemen? Oh my god.
I'm losing my mind.
I was
How
about to
you?
focus on the siege at this point because actually any siege loss is irreplaceable, right? Like they don't have the gold to boom them up. But that is just as painful. I mean, Cat, he's now switching men at arms, which I don't like against knights here because you'd need to get heavy maces, two-handed, elite army tactics, and elite stats for the men at arms, right? That you don't have that type of gold.
I need to
Just go lay down. Yeah.
I need to lay down for like 5 minutes and just come back and like reevaluate because my brain has started. I've lost the plot of the game, and I'm kind of absorbed by just the visuals right now. If that makes sense. It's like what's going on in my eyes.
It's like 3 minutes
what
of
my brain
nothing
is ready.
really that matters happening, and then something really kind of like you want to say
Major.
dumb happens, but it's not. It's just the amount of monotonous small probing attacks numbs you 55 minutes into a game.
And then something like these exchanges are actually critical at this stage of the game. Cat has really got his population under control. He's up to 170. He's got another 20 horsemen. He's gonna load them onto a transport. They're gonna be brave horsemen, you know, getting onto that
What
transport.
happened to the last guy that was wearing this armor? Nothing. Guys, just stay on the transport ship until the commander tells us to disembark. It'll be fine.
And Spinels once again. I mean, it's such a huge deal that DeMu has this AK in the middle.
Can DeMu
Like-
please? He needs to find somewhere to put houses. Like he has still got villages on the west side island, right? I think he left a few there.
Yeah, I guess that's where you put houses.
Or just more here, because like he has
Oh.
military schools right now
We're
that
open.
aren't producing.
We're open here, boys.
For business, baby. Great Bombard is just hanging back. We actually do have heavy maces queued up, so Cat is gonna find the goal for the tech.
What is hitting? Wait. Oh, man at arms. Okay. You've
Yeah,
got
that's what I'm
200
saying. Like,
gold.
he even got
That's
heavy
a bit-
maces. It's like it's weird because he hasn't got elite army tactics. He hasn't got elite stats. Like all these things are missing for him with men at arms pump.
He has no gold for men at arms, and he's losing his trade ships.
And
And there's a Rebaldican coming in because he's ready for the next wave of attacks on this island. I'm telling you, DeMu is so prepped for these horsemen.
Well, I mean, he's got Janissaries on the way,
Uh-oh.
which technically is just the easy win at the end here, right?
The men at arms here are a really smart play. Actually, it does work because the spearmen aren't going to really be equipped. Although, are those just past feudal age men at arms?
Horseman. I love how the trade is just here for moral support.
Well, they got
Yeah.
kicked out of their abode. They were just chilling, and then a bombard came in and burned down the house. So they're kind of like
They've been accountants for
The
life.
big bad wolf is just. Look at the only thing left on DeMu's original island is 3 bombards, or sorry, 3 cannons, and 3
And a
landmarks.
whore.
the Revolt. It holds.
The body boy do it. There we go. It's gonna push him
Sacred
away.
Sight. Sacred Sight victory.
Finally.
And down he goes. Wait, but in the meantime, the chop through is there. If this Culverin goes down, it's not going to get replaced quickly enough. The Bombard can now roll in and kill the cannon outpost, and that would give Demo complete control of this area. Meanwhile, the landing on Cat's original base, which is now Demo's new home,
they're in trouble.
He's got the siege on the coast.
Transport ship.
Hop him in.
Get him out! Get him out! What? Wait, was he trying to gas them in a ram? What's going on there?
I think maybe it was just awkward, and he's
He
going to
gets them
leave.
away. Free,
Sacred Sights
get
get
out.
captured.
This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. Like, Cat is going to have to full-on device send it onto an island. Now, I'm wondering, yeah, DeMu has a second Reboldequin on the way.
Where are the Springolds going? Can we check that? Can we check that transport? This is going to be interesting for a bit. He's got a journey. They're in the middle of the ocean. Here he goes. Where are we going, boys?
Guys, please. DeMu.
Unload.
Run.
He can kill the Bombard.
Wait, what did you click there?
He can kill the Bombard.
He killed a villager instead of the Bombard here.
Oh, that Bombard's gonna.
It should theoretically reload
shot.
coming through.
What a dream!
Gets the trade.
Unironically, Sacred Sights right now.
Yep.
Unironically.
That's what I've been waiting for this entire bloody time. But it was so tricky to get the timing down there, especially with the characters nearby. But somehow he snakes it in.
To hold the ground.
Now, this is where DeMu might benefit from getting some small walls up and around just to create funnel points.
Awkward. It's so awkward with the markets and the Sacred Site.
But anything that pushes melee troops on top of each other is good, basically, is what you're looking for here.
Yeah. Anything that does anything is good here. Yeah. Because most things don't do anything here.
Cat's like, wait, you can actually take your siege to another island? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, these Culverins would be huge against the Rebald, actually. Double Rebald now. So he's waiting for the horseman.
Oh, it's even simpler than that. Like, you actually just go kill the Seagate Castle. I don't think you actually react to the sacred... Like, reacting to the Sacred Sites is the harder way of winning this.
Oh, and DeMu just lost a lot of his knights there. How much does he have?
This is it. No.
Oh, he's building here. And
Winston,
this is where his army is.
But look at the size of his army. Winston, I'm telling you, this is it. What we've been waiting for. Normandy in reverse. The Germans are about ready to storm the beach.
But where's he going to go?
They're on the move now.
It might
from the
be
outback.
obvious for you. But where's he going to send it? Where's he going to send the army? Is he going
to
south?
the hardest breach point on the beaches? He's actually going to... What was the hardest landing? Was it Omaha? He's heading for Omaha. Oh, God. This is actually the one potential way that you just lose it. I don't think you should, though.
2 Culverins, I think, is enough, unless the repairs on the Great Bombard are enough to win that, and then the Rebalds come in.
Now, if he sends in the men-at-arms like that...
The problem is the vision. The problem is the vision. The Culverins can sneak up through this wood line and see the Rebalds, potentially. Oh, this is cool. This is a big-ass army. This is the moment Cat's been going for. He's going to go around the south, the walls. He's going to try and get the Culverins to snipe the Rebalds and the Great Bombard first. But more siege is coming into play on this island. There's another Great Bombard in queue here.
You can pinch this from both sides.
They're on the Sacred Site. They're giving vision. The Culverins are going to shoot from surprise and potentially win this.
I actually think you can sneak this from both sides with this many to brute force it if you want to. Cannon placement. Oh, the Culverin. It's revealing.
It's on the vision of the Sacred Site, and he's going to lose 1 Rebald for free, and that's huge because that's all of his army. This is so many horsemen and man-at-arms.
But
he's going to get overwhelmed. He's going to lose his Sacred Site.
Check the south corner. We need to see if DeMu has more room for Siege Workshop, because he actually has a lot of wood and gold right now. He could build more Siege. Okay, so at this stage, I wonder if it's worth deleting the rats more Siege. Who cares? It doesn't matter. There's no way the Siege will hold this back. Cat. It's a swarm of kiddies now. Reboldequin gets a shot out.
The repairs.
Reboldequin's dead though. Like, there's no protecting that. That is going to be it. The decap's going to come through, and I think from here, Cat surely, after he clears this up, he has to be heading home to reclaim the home island.
You say that, but even though DeMu has no economy, he has 3 military schools there. And he's making janissaries.
Well, no, without Istanbul Observatory, though. Like, that's the big asterisk you're forgetting here. Because it is a big asterisk. You can see it. Like, his production rates have never looked formidable here.
Yeah, he might also not have the Vizier points that give very much in this case.
Yeah.
So
and
Sacred Site is decapped. Everyone
Okay.
can calm down. We got to sit down for another 30 minutes. We thought the game might end, but we gotcha. That's not going to happen here. You're trapped in our world now. Oh, the traitor! He just eats shit. Oh my god. Traitor. Oh, and with it, DeMu.
And that no. You don't say anything else. That last sentence about him eating is all they'll hear. It's done. An hour and 5 minutes. We have the verdict. If you thought this series was long, you're about to feel small because we have got a 5th final game in this elimination series.
Oh my gosh. I feel like a weight is off my shoulders. And then I think that this is the first series of the day, KP. Buckle up, buddy, because we're on a journey. We're on a trip. DeMu has launched us into the deep end of the oceans with this archipelago game, and now he's going to take us to Kawasan. That's going to be the final map here, where he does have English or Jeanne d'Arc. Do you think he goes Jeanne d'Arc?
I think English is just so much simpler. Benny Boy knows that Civ inside out. They're top of the game right now. I mean, it's actually the end point of this draft is where I think it should theoretically favor now DeMu. Order of the Dragon or Mongols on the other side is kind of intriguing. I don't think Mongols will play well with English here on this particular type of map. Maybe Order of the Dragon could provide a big upset, but I mean, it's crazy. Like this series, the length I could not have anticipated. I thought maybe we get 1 or 2 long games, but I didn't think we were going to get 5 games deep. And it is indeed going to be English versus Mongols.
Wow, that's actually a really spicy matchup. That's fun.
Yeah,
classic.
So, I mean, you have to engage on water, right? You can't just fast cast on land. That's way too dangerous here. It's like maybe Mongols can get an edge and they'll have the Keshiks, but remember, like on the initial opening, you should have to face off against the Abbey of Kings. It used to be Council Hall was quite popular on water hybrid maps like this, right? Because Longbows with the extra reach, they can actually outrange all military vessels. That usually works better on maps like Canal, where it's much thinner. But it's possible we see Longbow play coming out here from DeMu. I think we're going to find out. If you guys are just tuning in, by the way, ask to subscribe to this channel. I just checked. We're 3 hours into the broadcast. This is the first series. There's still 3 more series to come. Theoretically, 12 hours of AOE IV a day, each day on the weekends. What more could you want? How about Game 5?
Yeah, and huge thanks to our sponsor Surfshark as well. I mean, we didn't really get a chance to talk about them during these games, but they've really done a great job supporting the scene, and so obviously thankful to them as well. It's just incredible stuff here, what we've got. I mean, DeMu and Cat are really putting on a show, and it's one of those special series, I would say, where it's not just like the normal long games. These are like long games that we haven't seen the pattern before, right? So even though we act like it's this crazy, hard, arduous thing, these games are fun. That was a fun game to watch. There was a lot going on, these nuances that we haven't really considered for late game. Archipelago just delivering us a little gem there. And now we go back to something a bit more standard. Kawasan has generally been a more aggressive map, ending with kind of like these Castle Age timings when one of the players has decisive economic advantage through the middle. Control of the middle here is going to be the name of the game as players look to add docks both on the north side here. So we're going to have a contested pond at the start of this game.
Yeah. Now, one interesting thing about this matchup is different from the Mongols. A lot of matchups here, they would go for the racks, they build several spearmen, and they burn down the docks. This is one of the few matchups where actually Mongols don't tend to do that. It's too risky against the Longbow player that comes out the other way, right? So you'll probably just see a fast feudal on both sides. Likely we're going to be looking at, Deerstone here versus Abbey of Kings. I mean, you can technically trade on this map. It's just very rarely ever good due to the fact the trade posts are located quite close to your starting base.
Yeah, the way that this plays is kind of interesting because Mongols are in this setup. If we look at his base, Cat's base is pretty well defended by the TC spawn. Like this is a tight location, and easy expansion up to the north with the Gare later for both the hunt and the gold. So it's going to be hard for early aggression, I think, to really matter. I mean, obviously, if longbows come around the north side, that'd be hard. But generally, when you're using longbows, it feels kind of risky to move that far out of the middle of the map and expose yourself to flanks or getting cut off. So we'll see.
Typically, like this
I like.
matchup, you might look for a few lombos potentially if you want Council Hall, but if it's just going to be Abbey Kings, you just have that free king to kind of roam with. Like the interesting thing actually, like the Keshik reaction, which can feel quite organic for the Mongols, is very good at shutting down that king, because with Khan you have the maneuver speed arrow to gap close. On top of that, because the drive-by effect the Khan, you never get to heal. So like if DeMu does decide to make this a king play, I think something that's kind of underrated at the moment on water hybrid maps at least is the idea of horsemen as well.
Yeah, that that was the play for a while. You're talking about Mongols, right? Mongols going horsemen, right?
No,
Or
against
you're saying
Mongols, right?
English
Yeah,
against
yeah,
against
English,
Mongols.
because you'll
Okay.
have Abbey of Kings with the king heal, right? So you get the
Yeah,
horsemen to
yeah,
roam with, and Keshiks can't gap close you. Then is logic, right? So you start taking a losing fight, you peel away, you come hunting
right,
again later. And if you think
right.
about the cost difference between Keshiks and horsemen, you can afford to build spearmen as well for the same price as Keshiks.
Interesting. Abby coming down, whereas Cat, not prioritizing the
Oh
fastest
wow.
age up, has gone for the second dock early, which means this king is going to have quite a lot of time with free reign on the map.
Yeah,
There's
not
no
just that.
military, right?
It means you're forfeiting the pond you've already economically invested in, right? Because you'll get idled out here. I mean, he can at least protect three of the boats. He shouldn't lose it too fast. One nice thing about playing against English here is they're one of the most underwhelming civs to transition rams early on in Kawasan. So you're not really at risk of being shoved off your docks, right? Like, for example, if an Abbasid player was decking up like this, military wing, they'd walk over, build a ram, and you'd be a pond down.
And Deerstone's going to be the choice here. Yeah, like you said, the trade post is in the middle, so this is kind of the obvious choice, right?
You could trade with the enemy post. Then we'd have a new
All
height for
right.
the absurdity of this series, but probably not ideal against English
Yeah.
longbows.
Yeah, I think with the trade post directly in the middle like that, it's basically not viable, right? Might as well not be there.
I think the way that Kawasan's been implemented with that, it's meant to be a case of, look, if you are out of gold on, like, there's no gold left on the map. Like, have you vein dried it all up? And you're like, yes, I've tapped every vein. Okay, now you trade. Like, that's the intentional way Kawasan was designed. Last resort,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
option from feudal.
For sure, right, and that makes sense. Not every map needs to be a trade-based map. The king on his way, though. Our Chad from English.
Yeah, and it is a
You
4
think-
gold, so Cat could get idled up there, which could prove very important in these opening phases, right? Because it's all about that 1-2 step of, you see Archer ship, you build Springald, demo comes out afterwards. It's like, if you're stripped of gold in the opening phase, you can't actually contest your opponent. You end up falling a full step behind.
You think DeMu fancies himself the King of England at this stage?
No.
No.
Sorry, Ben. I do love Ben, but right now, the King of English, probably Poppy Poor or Wham.
Oh, I meant the island nation, not
No,
the Civ in game.
No. Oh, in that case, no. He's the Queen of England. This is one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant. But he traded the king here, so is that his romantic partner now?
Yeah, he just sends him out, right? Like, you must
Yeah.
go and fight for me.
You must go and fight for me, my king. All right,
That
where's his
cat
king
over
at?
there hissed at me in a most dishonorable way.
Hunt him down. Yeah, no. So let's think. The king and the Khan. That's a fun little duo. You think they're gonna have fun?
What a mate. Can't. I love that
Oh.
cat. It's like, I'm just gonna ignore you. If I
Into the
don't
mill.
acknowledge you, you can't hurt me. Interesting thing about this matchup, by the way, it's a very weird bug, but I did notice this when I was casting one of the qualifier games. Did you know that the Khan's movement speed is dynamic?
Yeah.
As in, he cycles between 1.62 and 1.69 movement speed when he's chasing someone and attacking.
Nice.
I'm not even that's not even for a joke. He legit does that.
I know.
So
I know.
It's
Yeah,
impossible for the king with 1.69 movement speed to pull away.
Yeah. To make it, the Khan is weird. He's a weird unit.
I remember watching at the time. I was like, "Why is he moving faster now?" And it's not maneuver speed. It was we were like me and my chat were trying to figure out. We're like, "Is it the Keshik formation?" It's like, no, it's legit. When he attacks, when he should be out of range, his guy speeds up to stay in range. It's very
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. It used to be much more noticeable on the Mangadai, too. They used to go much faster when chasing a unit if you right clicked. So it was rather than just right click and run with them, you wanted to like right click and target and chase, and you would like keep the speed of the enemy unit. Yeah, it's a weird thing, a weird nuance of the game as it
And then
stands.
on top of that, he has maneuver speed as well. So enjoy life. Clash coming out. Just move in there with the archer shield. I don't think that was meant to be intentional. DeMu does get baited by it though, so Cat able to eke that out. But double spring versus one. Other pawns looking a bit dicey. I kind of feel like DeMu's getting a bit of edge, but the nice thing Cat has here, of course, is those emplacements you naturally get with the Uvu stone.
Uvu, yeah. Yeah, still plenty of stone in the bank. 400 now.
Does DeMu actually have much
gonna
fishing?
go down. Yeah.
For a second, I doubted it.
Yeah, for a second, I was like, the healing is kind of coming in, and the king is on the eco.
There we go.
And that's 3-3 Vil kills now.
Oh, well, it was
That's
free
crazy.
Vil versus free workers, right? That's the difference here. Oh, well, free versus one worker
Fishing
and
boat, yeah,
two
there's
fishing
some
boats.
ships.
Yeah,
There's some
because he
ships
did lose
in
that one villager on the South Lake to the Khan.
Yeah, to the Khan. Yeah.
We have got an archer range coming in. I really love this, though. We talked about the idea that longbows are really good on these type of maps. It used to be an underrated play. I remember I recommended it a lot on Danube River, because the logic is that you can move in longbows, and your opponent can't build any naval vessel to contest that, right? Because it's 7 tower range versus 6.5 max.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of English players forget about longbows when they have the Abbey. They just don't make the unit. But
Even though it's
fine.
better, right? Because like I think the way I describe this one, this is the old campfire build. Because you have healing again.
Yeah, yeah. Now we see. Oh wow, getting totally baited there. So
Hey, he can
looks
come
like
back in now. Hello! Goodbye.
Cat's feeling sharp right now. He's winning both pawns, it seems. Maybe not the North Pawn just yet, but a few more ships up there, and he should be good to go.
And Cat, I feel like Cat's been playing better on water in these series, right? Like, I mean, the first game, I don't know if it was outright water as much as it was like strategy outplay.
Civ,
That
Civ.
HRE game was absolutely wild, but this one is clean.
I felt like that was a Civ situation, though, right? Like HRE,
Yes.
one of the top Civs, and Ottomans are one of the bottom Civs
That's
on water, and we
true.
kind of saw why, right?
But this one, I think, is more balanced, right? Like, you could argue the arrow slits
yeah.
on one side, but, I mean, Cat,
I mean,
he's hitting the mark.
English are much better, I feel like, in general, right?
But once the Lombos
maybe-
are in, yeah.
Yeah, once kind of like all the bonuses are able to be made use of. Like English with cheaper ships here feels really
True.
good. And this wasn't really a map where Cat was confident to go for Spearmen, which is how Mongols gain an advantage on hybrid usually, right?
I
It's some
just
sort of
wanna-
military. Like he's sitting on 600 stone, right, and not using it.
I just want to say I appreciate you for not highlighting Admiralty, because that's never a thing.
The +1 range upgrade.
Yeah, it's always too
Yeah.
expensive, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's same
A
way
lot
on the
of
other
that's
side,
XR,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Piracy?
a lot like, yeah, piracy is like, piracy
Isn't
seems so
piracy
good.
cheaper than it used to be?
I
It was.
think it's still like 350, right? If you hover on it.
Much
Okay.
cheaper now.
Oh, wow, okay.
Much cheaper, like
It's-
2 patches ago.
It still feels so difficult to slide in, though, because you are sacrificing a boat, right?
Yeah, 20 seconds. Yeah. Another Vil goes down, though. But the pond control is what Cat is caring about here. Although, I would say he's investing a lot here, and DeMu didn't continue to produce.
He's looking at castle here. Like, he's
He's
halfway
at the
already.
North Pond, yeah.
So Lombos are starting to come. They can just run down the center. Because Cat, I don't think he's even got a production building for land at this point.
The king on the gold again.
Okay, he has got the
No
stables.
way. Okay. I was just saying, no way another Vil goes down to this trick. Like, he's literally just waiting outside of the vision and then just going in as soon as he's healed up again.
Has DeMu been holding the Lombos at home? Because he has 6 of them, but I'm not seeing them move at all.
Yeah, they were protecting the
Okay.
gold from potential raids. I think he sees the stable now, which I'm glad they're home now because of the stable. But keep in mind, the Khan immediately spotted the longbows. So I think going forward with them is a bit of a risk. And another Vil, oh,
King?
the king wasn't able to get it done.
Ooh.
And he's going to go down.
Yeah, and he would have went down afterwards anyway, right? Because the Keshiks with the Yam off the outpost, and then the charge afterwards was still connected. DeMu
not my
immediately
king.
recused, though.
I
Oh,
didn't vote for you.
Yeah, so Queen Ben is like, oh no, let's just have a funeral and get
Anyways.
married again. Yeah.
Oh, no. Anyways.
Who wants to be my king? It's a bunch of guys, me. No one coming out in a second, and while that's happening, DeMu distracting on water because the tech up is now about to be on the way, and we should be looking at I think you go King's Palace here, right? Yeah. Land switch.
Eco. Yeah, because you've lost water here. You can make it kind of expensive. I mean, 4 hulks and another demo gets made, and another hulk gets made. Yeah, Cat is really invested in water here.
This
He'll
is
win
wild.
it on both ponds, I think.
Yeah, but like, how much fishing has he really got done here, right? Like, the amount of idle time. He's starting to bulk it up now, but for a long time, he just couldn't invest it, right? I think he had some that just had to shoreline fish, which slowed him down a lot. Now he's pumping into Keshiks. He's about to find himself an age behind. I mean, do you just try to rush up now? Because there's no way that 4 Keshiks could do damage.
Knights. Especially against Knights. Castle Age Knights against Feudal Age Keshiks is not a great matchup for the Keshiks unless you really have outmassed them. Which at the moment he does, but they're going to maybe get spotted. No, he sneaks on by. Ships passing in the night. Well, not ships here. Horsemen. Horsey boys. And he's back on the goal.
Stronger this time as well, remember?
The Keshiks, though, are good against the King. So he's got to be a man on the run.
Yeah, but now the Yam's about to run out. And remember, it's 1.69 movement speed compared to the 1.62. So good luck watching my horse's ass, because you're never catching me. Boom.
And he's going to run straight into the King's Palace. Oh, wait, no. No, he's not. Into the long
no,
the
King,
palace is over there.
he's going underneath the Abbey. The villagers, maybe at this point you just attack with them? He's setting up palings.
Which is going to stun.
Yeah, but the villagers need to attack right here, right? Like, DeMu.
The knights are here.
Okay, they're coming out now.
He might lose a villa or two, but I think he's okay with this because if he gets rid of this threat, he can just go forward now with his knights, and he has King's Palace.
Yeah, I definitely think it would have been worthwhile to attack the villagers, just because you get a quick strike out, right? Especially with the attack speed right nearby. Would have made this a bit cleaner, because now there's still some Keshiks kind of looming. But first, knights are out, King is still alive. Cat is still stuck an age behind trying to scale Keshiks. I don't feel like you've got the numbers on your side for this, though.
And another stable, so he's going to be fully committing here. Just now catching up on, like, Wheelbarrow, for example, which is going to be contributing a lot to DeMu's economic edge. On the land, but on the sea, though, Cat has now fully boomed on the water. Potentially even over-boomed on these ponds. Can we check out those fishing numbers in a moment? Because it looks high. The Knight's trading out. 23 fishing boats is a lot for this map.
Like, usually, I think most time when you got 2 ponds, it's more around 18, I want to say, is the number we more typically see. A little bit more stable there. It's just Keshiks coming. I mean, the funny thing is, like, DeMu, he's already prepping the appropriate response. You'd think maybe Spearman, but instead it's going to be Crossbowman and also a play towards Relics.
Yeah, this is really smart. Grab him while you can. And he's going to be applying pressure here. The Keshiks defending are not going to be enough. The King going to get involved. The gold mine evacuated.
Undermesh coming in.
But
Keshiks are returning home.
Maybe surrounded. But he could just run away and heal up.
Yeah, he can turn around for a fight right now. Like, he'd actually win that fight every day of the week.
Yeah, just cycle charging, too, would be good.
Just the initial wallop is huge, right? 36 damage at the stage.
And boom! Waits for the positioning, gets the strike, and one Keshik goes down, another one limping away.
The numbers for Cat don't look good here. Like, I actually think he's going to have to go Spears. King pulls back. Right, stand their ground, recycle charge. I mean, this is the problem right now. He's losing with defender's advantage, and the next wave is on the way. Like, he actually needs to start mopping this up. King just about moving out of range. He needs to body block here.
Or he needed to snipe it with the con.
Yeah, it looks like the cycle there, the formation, got him further out of range there. So, nice little play there by DeMu.
Down he goes. The King sacrifices himself for one of his knights. Usually it's the other way around, but in this case, that King was feeling gracious.
Ben now walks out into the hall. He's like, I require another husband. At this point, the Kings are getting suspicious. Like, get through these pretty fast.
Yeah, we don't really see them. They just kind of go off on a big honeymoon and they never really come back. What's going on here? This knight gonna get owned by a springald shot from the sea.
DeMu does have eco-inflation on his side though, right? Like, the villagers can go forever, the fishing can't. Step readout now coming in. This is tough. I mean, I get it. You're scaling Keshiks. You don't get value out of Kurotai, but now you're fighting into a disadvantageous aura, right? Like, that attack speed is meant to be offset by Kurotai in this matchup. That's not going to be the case.
And this is the crossbow reveal. He's kind of been prepping it for a while, not really queuing them up right away, but here he comes. Now that he really sees the commitment to Keshik's here, he's queued up a bunch more. The second relic, too. Jeez.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, the problem is this is what happens when you have to go for Disdome, right? Like, you have to get an eco inflation on land some way, but this just feels like a relatively weak eco inflation compared to the English. So what's his way out? Because if he sticks cavalry, I think this becomes a little bit monotonous. It doesn't actually hit harder, it hits lighter as the game goes on. Kind of feels like actually Cat needs to be transitioning into crossbows. Maybe he's worried about longbows as a threat here.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's good against the crossbow. He saw the crossbows, right? So he knows that there's a couple coming, and you need the Keshik kind of have a lower HP pool than a normal knight, so crossbows are generally pretty good against them. And the Stepper out just gonna get idled. That feels so bad.
Oh man. He does at least have 500 gold in reserve, and in fairness, he's switching into Horseman anyway. For reasons that I cannot explain.
I mean,
you're against knights, like...
yeah, it's not good. And here's just gonna stick the fight.
This is fine as well. Like, the crossbow archers are kind of being ignored. The knights are brute forcing it. Keshiks are going to start to overwhelm with defenders advantage coming through, but it's still more idle time.
The knights are
this,
holding. The knights are holding. The horsemen, they're eventually going to flood their way over, but the knights are still alive. There was a knight picking off gold vills. The Khan tries to get involved. The Khan and the king once again.
On top of
Duking
that,
it out.
this is not even the main army, right? Like, this is a distraction. This is half the army. Crossbows are scaling upwards. And although it seems like the horsemen will be a good counter, I see these knights and I still don't see a solution.
Yeah, it's an interesting composition. Keshik and horseman is a bit wild. It's super food heavy. And I guess that's what Cat has a lot of.
Yeah, but he has a lot of gold, right? So, like, here's a fort. Build
He's
Keshiks and
got
crossbows.
48. Oh, this fight is not good.
Oh, the choke points. The berries are actually working against him because the Keshiks, they have numbers. They can't use them like this. Oh, crossbows also getting buffed by the nearby outposts.
One thing is it's kind of hard to tell which is the Keshik and which is the horseman. And it looks like he might actually have enough here. The knights are dropping.
I'm not convinced yet. The crossbows are kind of being ignored. This is it. He has to run away.
Oh, and so many low HP knights.
There will not be low HP anymore.
Yeah, DeMu should be glad to send this army home and just go heal up. You can get the Abbey healing going too, and just this is gonna snowball really quickly if this army can heal. If Cat's able to fight again quickly, it should be okay. And Spearman now being the addition. Yeah, Horseman, Keshik loses to Spears.
Yeah, this particular king is like that stepdad that buys you ice cream all the time when you ask for it right now. Like, these knights, this is kind of what makes this place so insane, right? Like, that change so that the king has the aura in the go. There was this idea of a cheesy strategy a long time ago. You remember the one where it's like you'd cycle knights back home and then they'd heal at the Abbey of Kings, but it just never worked because of the timings. Like, this alleviates that whole concern. Just check those health bars. You wouldn't believe they were just in a fight for their life.
Yeah, if we were on his point of view, we would see the healing. Oh, and the flank comes in. He went around the north side of the pond. We kind of missed it. The yellow on the minimap there, hard to spot.
DeMu's heading in, though. He's going to ignore this and let reinforcements deal with it, which is a smart play, because if he comes back now, he's in a reactionary state. So Spin will stabilize, but now the knights and crossbows moving into the main.
And Keshik's at to retreat. He simply can't stay there. And Vills go down in the outpost, and the Steppered out over there protecting a large portion of the land economy. The population's neck and neck, but this force from DeMu is just better.
The idle time alone is going to sting him here. There's also the production now being camped. Like, the new crossbows coming out can be cut down before they can do anything. You're going to have to fight this, but I mean, the difficulty is, do you really have the numbers? It's deceptive, because on this screen, you'd think, wow, Mongols have more units. Yeah, half of them are economy.
Oh boy. And here comes the fight. DeMu gonna stand his ground. The spearman protecting the crossbowmen. The villagers going back to work. This is a bold assumption, thinking he's gonna win this fight.
Fence arrow. It's not gonna be enough to hold, though. It's not gonna work here. Like, remember, the other thing about these military numbers is deceptive. Look how many ones are boats, right? He's got 8 Navy vessels. His military force on land isn't substantial here. Wave 1 goes down, but now Spearman crossbow are massing up at home for the English.
Yeah, that was a big fight window for Cat.
Look at the eco, though.
That up.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah,
was he using the villagers to fight there? It looked like it for a second, right?
they were idle to the left of the fight. They weren't even in it.
So
And
they
then
were
he
just getting picked
ran them.
still. That's
Yeah,
wild.
a couple of them died. 19 to be specific have died on the side of Cat. A couple of those fishing boats, but mostly not. And this army's gonna get caught out. There are even men at arms in the
Oh,
mix.
Spears this time.
No, they're
The
not.
thing he can't deal with.
The
Back
ship's
away.
getting involved, but only Feudal Age, no upgrades on those. And Sacred Site Victory approaching for DeMu. He's gotten 3 of the relics, 2 on the side of Cat.
And then veterancy for archers now. So interesting. I think this is the switch up we talked about that I believe Cat was worried about, which is why he didn't go crossbow straight away. Now, this is where Cat is scary because with the gold running on the backside, he's going to need to switch siege. If DeMu just steers more to the right side, I think these fights start to get one-sided. Like, I said about that deceptive bot, but I think the crazy thing is, like, DeMu is fighting right into the waiting arms of these spindle ships.
Yeah, and into the Spearmen, the Keshiks go. It's not the prettiest fight. Actually, that's only 5 Keshiks. Mostly
Yeah, also the crossbows are stabilizing him here, right? I think DeMu, it looks like his goal is just to kind of bog Cat down and gradually tech up, right? We do see this a lot out of the English, usually with men at arms because they're more efficient, but because your opponent already has mass crossbows, that's not really an option.
Well, the main thing here is to wait out the water advantage, right? So water is going to give you an advantage for a short period, but it has a finite ending point. Like, soon, we could check the fish maybe in a bit if you have time, Vodka, because I think, yeah, we're running low on the reserves here. And once that's out, these fish become a lot less effective, and you just start really, really hurting on the income. And it's deceptive, too, because you think, oh, I have all this food income, and then it just suddenly stops, too. It's very abrupt.
I don't know, man. I felt like Cat was out of this, but I gotta give him credit where credit is due. Like, I don't know if it's as much just DeMu slipping these fights, because some of these fights just look like the type that should have always favored him, right? Like that Night Clash where the villagers are idle. The weird part is it almost looked like DeMu wasn't rallying troops. Something seems to be slipping through the cracks from Ben.
Yeah, that fight wasn't ideal for him. I think there was just also overwhelming numbers. Cat had, I think, a little more than DeMu anticipated. And there's a lot of units now flanking for DeMu, but it's Spearmen running into crossbowmen. It's oddly effective at times. Like, you can kind of do okay with Spearmen into crossbows with the right situation.
It's good damage absorb, like value trade works out quite nicely. It's also padding him for the real transition, which is Lombos. The problem is Cat is already red to his soul. Men at arms now on the way.
Yeah, I think they're going to help a bit, but there's still a crossbow mass in the mix here, right? So the crossbowmen just chopping him down pretty quick, at least in these numbers. And now the crossbowmen from Cat alone against this big mass of units.
Outpost Tor is coming. That's the thing that's missing here. DeMu, he knows as well. He's actually building up the tree line. Yeah, so Cat, that was really smart. If he hangs around any longer, he'll just lose really badly in this fight, right? He'll be behind on military. But, you know, once again, those numbers are deceptive, right? For anyone looking at the top going, why is Cat not just dunking these fights? Think about the population on water, right? Almost 20 of his military pop is on the sea.
Exactly, yeah. Step it out, reposition to the left, which is, we've got Vills in really close proximity there. Which could be relevant soon, especially with the mobility from Cat. And Horseman being added now from DeMu, who has the food eco. His farm situation has to be really good at this stage, right? Can we check it out? Yeah, we're approaching late game English. And that's when I really start to favor DeMu in this situation.
Yeah, I think that's always the issue of Mongols here. It's like, now Cat's in a more defensive format, and you can't play Mongols as a defensive civ. The moment that happens, the game feels over. Keep drop sneaking on the step readout. Another pain point, right? It's like, I think this is another reason why step readout kind of fell off, is you become predictable on where you can find that landmark and where the priority is. Because for step readout to be good, you need to have a lot of villagers with it. And these villagers apparently are not going to be strong enough to take down the keep builders. He needs reinforcements. It's going to be tight.
This is an expensive keep, though, for DeMu. Like, it's going to go up. It goes up. It goes up, but, like, he's losing almost every Vill.
I'm having my doubts. I'm actually having my doubts, DeMu! Oh no!
That's got to be... Look, and it's more than the health bar. That is 99.9%. Oh, my. You know, there's a saying in the H2 community. If you know it, you know it. But maybe we need to call this a DeMu castle or something like that.
I mean, it's 2-on-1 series now. I think I called it a DeMu castle before.
Mount?
DeMu castle.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. This series, DeMu. I mean, that one,
man.
you'd think it wouldn't matter that much, but remember that is pretty much his entire eco lead to build it up, and he's still going back for more.
I guess he's the key that denying the gold is going to win the game. Right? This is the hope. It does deny the gold here.
I mean, he can kill villagers in return now, right? It's like Cat pays the price, and it's too big a one. DeMu with the decisive castle to knock Cat out of the tournament.
It took him a minute. It took him a minute, and quite a lot of ills died for that castle. But like the king, DeMu has no issue sending them to their deaths.
He's got plenty of stepchildren. It's fine.
Yeah, he's got plenty of kings apparently lying around. And DeMu really knocking it out of the park with this series. You cannot call this decisive. It was a wild series. A wild series. But pretty fun.
Yeah, like, you know, I want to give it some. I feel like most people would agree a lot of AOE IV at the moment has kind of reached a point where you really just want to have a patch to mix things up, because you watch a lot of games and like 15, 20 minutes ahead, you can kind of see how it's going to go. These boys, you couldn't even figure out what was going to happen 5 minutes ahead, right? Like, I think I even had it a few times there where I'm like, this should be over. The Archipelago one, I think I called it over about 4 different bloody times, because it really should have been. But these two always somehow found a stay of execution to provide one of the most entertaining games I think we're going to see in Master of Realms.